Nothing's what it seems, but I feel gravity is holding me down. It's there for all to see, through dirt and through debris. Everyone is leaving this forsaken town. I lost the scenery, my mind's machinery. Seems like Hollywood is starting to catch fire. Under a starlit sky, I see you and I. In some way it gets me every time. We know just where you come from, we keep on falling. We're as lonely as you are. We know just what it feels like, we're counting dollars. We're as lonely as you are. We know just where you come from, we keep on falling. We're as lonely as you are. We know just what it feels like, we're counting dollars. We're as lonely as you are. I drove 1,000,000 miles to make it all worthwhile. Where can you take me? Where do you want me to be? Inside this carousel, it's either hell or hell, and there's no going back, there's nothing new to see. I lost the scenery, my mind's machinery. Seems like Hollywood is starting to catch fire. Under a starlit sky, I see you and I. In some way it gets me every time. We know just where you come from, we keep on falling. We're as lonely as you are. We know just what it feels like, we're counting dollars. We're as lonely as you are. We're as lonely as you are. We're as lonely as you are.
Down by the schoolyard where the A-crowd share Brianna's mindless moves. They talk about the spring break and oh yeah, Tijuana, here we come. My friends think she's so dumb and stupid, but I won't tell anyone what her and I got going on. Brianna's brother's buying beer, so freaking cool, can you believe? He'll bring his friends to college guys, our weekend plans are such a dream. My friends think she's so dumb and stupid, but I won't tell anyone. Now it's so that when we are alone, she's touching me. Well, I'm a sucker for it, give it to me. The way she's looking at me, she's so damn perfect. It's so damn worth it, the secret we keep. Yeah, I'm a sucker for it.
up, Seriously Shelby? What's up, everybody? Welcome, Seriously Shelby. Welcome, Kinetic Kel, back again. Good to see you. Welcome, Jay Eakin, my man, in the house. The Department of Numismatics, Mr. Boulay, is in the house. We started off with first in chat tonight was I Am God. Don't know if I Am God is still here, but if you are, welcome to the show. What a week it's been. What a week. You know, had some good times, some bad times, you know, it's all good. It's all good. You know, obviously got back from SHOT Show, didn't get the SHOT Show crud, so that's all good. You know, been just been hanging around the house because we've had ice and snow and all of that. Have been able to get out to the range a couple of times this week. That was good. Seriously, Shelby's been training for deployment. That's awesome. I'm doing very well, Shelby. Thank you for asking. Hopefully everyone else will answer you as well. Don't seem to have a huge turnout tonight, but that's okay. Obviously, we had a great show the other night talking about the fitness debate that Marte and Flow State were having, and you know, that was interesting. Honestly, the debate was so bad that because those guys just don't like each other and had a lot of animosity, that I think we actually had a better conversation here. So it was really, really good. I've done a couple of I did a couple of gun prattles here and there. I was on Clovertack's panel last night, so it's been busy. So I figured that we'd chill tonight. Kel, if you were looking for a debate, I will gladly debate you. Just let me know. I'll send you the link, and you can come up and we'll debate and on something. I don't know what, but we'll make it happen, Captain. You know, I was supposed to have a debate last night, and it was canceled. Unfortunately, that's okay, you know, because I got to do the Clovertack thing, and it's just been, you know, we've been going, guys. We've been going. You know, attendance has been kind of all over the place. The numbers are not what I would like them to be, but that's okay. I kind of might have hosed myself a little bit tonight because I got ahead of myself and posted the link out prior, like way too early when I was going live. So I think we had a lot of people just kind of blow through and just moved on because I shared the link out, but I wasn't actually here. So, you know, that's all good. It is a chill stream tonight. We're going to talk about anything. Well, basically anything you guys want to talk about, I'm willing to talk about. But obviously, a lot of topics this week have been obviously the shooting in Minnesota of Alex Preddy. I've been in multiple conversations this week about that. We've also had the Andrew is on. That's correct. Yep, that's true. We've had the shooting of Alex Preddy. We've had multiple events with riots and whatnot. I think Kel wants to take part in a debate night show, a night I shall sponsor. Yeah, I would. We need to get that lit back up again as well. I think what we're going to do is we'll start promoting that this week for starting next week, and we'll get back on track and start doing the debate show because I think it's important and I like it. It looks like I'm going to be debating a debate, or I'm going to be moderating a debate between Flow State and Emmett. I think that's coming up in maybe the next week or so. That's going to be good. What's up, Mr. Andrew? How are you? You're here to relax. That's good because that's what we're doing tonight. It is a chill stream at Mr. Andrew Wilson. That's got to be Anson Knowles. Anson Knowles has way too many alts these days. Kel, if you're here, come on up. We will get you. I'll debate you on something. I have no problem. But we are going to chill tonight. It's going to be I think it's going to be a relaxing stream for everybody. What's up, Grid? Our Orthodox, pardon me, Grid. Long time no see. Absolutely, man. Like 20 whole minutes, I think, 30 minutes. Stephen Akari, welcome, sir. Welcome in. Good to see you, my friend. We are going to be doing a lot more gun prattle stuff, and the video the video components will start to flow as the weather warms up and I can actually get to the range. I have multiple ranges to use around here, including a private range. So that'll be awesome. And when I'm there, I'll have people to help film and stuff like that. So what else is going on tonight, or not tonight, but what else is going on in my little corner of the world that you guys might be interested in? Hey, Numismatics has dropped a super chat. Yes, we are viewer supported, so please send in those super chats, guys. Please do it. Encourage your friends to do it. Show your support, folks, and grift the grid. What happened to spot prices today? Bet the precious metal ETF holders crashed out. You know what? I'm going to be honest with you. I think so. It's an interesting deal with that. Jay Eakin just bought a new stock today. That's awesome. Fuck It Button's in. What's up, my friend? Fuck It Button. How are you, good sir? Yeah, it's interesting. I was actually asked about this, and Mr. Boulay is going to get mad at me for this, but I was asked about getting into silver just a couple of weeks ago, and I said, you're late to the party. You can get into it, and you're going to get into it. You're kind of late to the party, and I think there's going to be a correction. So while it might go up a little bit more, I think it's going to kind of basically top out, and there'll be a retraction. Don't get caught in it. And the guy's like, okay, it sounds right. And then he looked into it further, and for the amount of money he was willing to invest on a short term. And I told him, by the way, that if you're going to buy and hold, I don't think you can get hurt in precious metals very often. But if you are buying it to basically day trade, I think it's a bad idea. And of course, today he hit me up and he's like, man, you called that one. And I'm like, yeah, well, there's, when you have a lot of rapid growth, you are going to have a retraction, and, it may go right back up. I understand it's a perfect storm that adds up perfectly for silver right now, but there's so much mythology going on in the buying side, where people are trying to convince people to get in, that for the layman, for the guy who doesn't do it every day, like Mr. Boulay, who literally lives and breathes precious metals. I have no problem with Mr. Boulay has it on lock. But, a layman coming in is just probably not a great idea for them to just jump in willy-nilly and all that. So what's up, Ashton? How are you, sir? Good to see you. What's up, Mullet Baby? How are you? Wait, what? He's not facing murder through use of a firearm? What in the world? My God, man. That's crazy. Yeah, Mr. Boulay says, not for flipping, hold for long term. If you're going to buy in small amounts. Spot prices are too volatile even for him. Absolutely. Ashton, I feel you, bro. I'm actually tired this week. I've been going non-stop. I don't know how they get that either, Fuck It Button. You do trade and grade for one of, if not the largest wholesalers in the world. So I see it as well. Perfect. Judge dropped it today. That's crazy, man. That's crazy. What's up? I need OG up here saying that's crazy. 2 of 4 counts, the death sentence is not in play. Well, he's being tried in New York, so I don't think the death sentence is a serious threat anyway. They don't actually do that there anymore, I don't think. So it is a chill stream. I'm waiting on Tyler or somebody, some of the other usual suspects to jump around and come up and we'll chat. I was waiting for Kel. Kel was like, "Oh, I want to come up. I want to debate or something," and then she bounced out. So let me see if we can get Kel to come in. Or on, whatever. Yeah, cost average is a great policy. It's never bad advice. That's true. Fuck it button. So Don Lemon got arrested today. I'm very interested in what people. So I've heard far and wide, across the internet, that this is a stunt, that the local judges wouldn't have anything to do with it, that these federal charges won't stick. He'll be out before dawn. Charges drop, blah, 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 blah. And I have to ask, if you don't believe that Don Lemon should be charged with the KKK law, which is, interrupting church services or interfering with church services, religious services. If you don't believe that, what do you think he should be charged with? Because to be honest with you, I think that's the perfect charge. He and everyone else involved needs to go to prison for what they did. Because in the not so distant past, that's what happened when you took it upon yourself to go and interrupt a church service and protest in a house of worship. And because you have to understand that this is not a public place. A church, while it is open to the public, is not public, right? They still have that is still a place of worship, and there are laws against it that date back, into the 50s, maybe 60s for sure. Yeah. Fuck it button. Yes, he did something. Right. Yeah. We just wanted the gay liberal to get wrecked. Maybe. I mean, that's probably true. Kel drops in, says hi, and then just goes radio silent. What do you expect? Yeah, but yeah. So I'm really interested to see what everyone thinks this guy ought to be charged with, because obviously, if someone tells me that he shouldn't be charged at all, I know they're complete morons. They are complete liberal scumbags that do not deserve to breathe the same air that I do, because he absolutely needs to be charged and he absolutely needs to pay for his crime. The question is, what crime do you think he ought to be charged with? That's the only question that I have in my mind. And I think he needs to be charged with the KKK Act of protesting and disturbing a religious in a religious setting. Sorry about that. Had to reach over and turn that off. Yeah, I'm really curious. Does anybody have anything? He literally got caught in my hometown, and one of the local lawyers was his counsel. I believe that. The FACE Act, that's what it is. Yeah, it's FACE Act. Oh, the Luigi guy. Yeah. A federal judge released him on no bail. He has charges under the KKK and FACE Act. They bring enhancement charges if he is found guilty up to 40 years. We have video of him doing it. The Luigi guy, I can't believe that they're not going. I can't believe that they're not charging with using a weapon during the murder. I mean, it was literally murder. I mean, it's on video. So, I don't know, man. This is crazy. You were 100 yards from him getting caught and you watched it? That's awesome. Arthur Daya, yes, I am back. Hey, I'm wearing my hat. You can have one yourself, guys. This is the Man Card hat. It's awesome. It's actually really cool. I have a revised version coming out soon, so maybe don't run out and buy this version, but it's okay. You're on your lunch break and you watch him get arrested. That's dope. That's dope. But basically it sounds like everybody's in agreement that Lemon should get arrested and he should be charged with the FACE Act. And yet all day I've heard people saying the opposite, that he should not be charged and that, it's and that he's going to get out and it's not that big a deal. Hey man, we're on a chill stream, Ashton. If you want to jump up, man, let me know. Hang on. I'm going to actually, mods, I am right this moment putting the link in the mod chat. Anybody that wants to come up and chat tonight, feel free to go to the Discord. You go to the waiting room and you just ask, I'd like to come up. And they'll get you a link. If they know you, if we know you, you get a link. If they don't know you, they may ask you some questions. And if I don't know you, I may ask you to cam up just so. I don't do StreamYard. I use a different software. You don't have Discord anymore? Well, I can drop it here in a minute. Just give me a second. Yeah. All right. So this is, actually, fuck it button. It's weird you say that because I thought that it was his idea. And that means that, to be honest, he should be charged with some form of sedition or conspiracy, right? Well, not sedition, but conspiracy, right? Because he's on camera urging this. What radio channel am I on? I need to be on the radio. I should. I ought to do pirate radio. Somebody look into that for me. What's up, Deacon 5090? I don't know. I'm not familiar with you. Are you new here, or are you yet another of Anson Knowles alts? The based ham opera. Now, pirate radio, baby. Pirate radio. That's one of my favorite movies is Pump Up the Volume. It's all about pirate radio, and I love that. I also like the movie where they had the pirate radio station offshore outside the 12-mile marker so that they could have play rock music into the UK. What is? Hey, what's no, not Somali. Although Arthur Daya, if Trump does letters of marque, I'm ready. I got a boat. I'll buy another one. I'm all set to take to start boarding oil tankers and for fun and profit. I'm just saying that's what's up. You're Albanian. All right. Well, welcome, Deacon. Albanian. That's pretty cool. I used to know some Albanian people. If you want to come up and chat, and you're a real human, and you're not gonna like prawn bond my shop or my show here, you're welcome to come up. Isn't that the guy Wolfman Jack moved to Mexico to do radio to avoid the FCC rules? Could be. I want to do pirate radio though. That'd be legit. Would that be legit? I'm just saying. That'd be pretty legit. All right. So Don Lemon. So we agree that. So does everybody agree that Don Lemon should be under the prison, right? At the end of this, right? Do we have some freedom? Have some freedom dispensing videos? I mean, I might have one or two. I have the one you guys have already seen, but I'll play it again. I ain't scared. I got you, bro. Got you. Now, you've already seen it, but here we go. That was a clean draw. Pretty good. Not bad. It was slick. It was slow, but it was slick. There you go. Dispensing freedom seeds at a rapid pace. That was actually really slow, though. That was really, really slow. A female jail is punishment for Don Lemon. Okay. All right. Can you have an opinion because you're Canadian? Today you can. Today you can have an opinion even though you're Canadian. Yeah, it's funny because I kept telling Jess Gerald that when because he would he'd be doing this and then he would so he did that cop thing where he bang bang and then he dropped down and moved to the next target and bring it back up, and I'm like, we're not cops. You keep the gun up in your eyes so that so you're since you're tracking the targets. The smooth draw with the wrist already pushing forward is based on smooth speed. Yeah, I practice a lot. So, yeah. Hey, what's up, Bandit 848? Listen, anybody that wants to come up and chat tonight, you're welcome to. Feel free to go over to the Discord if you have our Discord and jump up. My image is mirrored. It ought not be. It looks good to me. But I think you're right. Give me 1 second here. Let me look here. Yeah, because it is. Yeah, all right. Let's see. Got it. My bad. I had to mirror it because I was doing a thing through Discord the other day, and Discord mirrors it, so I had to mirror it back. No big deal. Yep. Yeah, it wasn't mirrored on my side, but on your side it was. So easy peasy. Yes, right. Absolutely right, Arthur Daya. He was out there ahead of time telling his audience something big was about to go down, turned off the camera. He didn't want his TV audience to hear what the plans were, and he didn't want the evidence out there. So, that's what's up. So what's up, Cam the King, my man? How are you? All right. So Ashton, if you're still with us, man, if you're still with us, let me know. I'll drop the link in the chat for you. I apologize. I meant to do it earlier, but I got distracted. You know how it is. Yes, he met with his good friend, the organizer of the event. That's absolutely true. I just don't see the left. I don't understand how the left can be saying, well, this is wrong. I literally saw somebody this morning. I was over on Counterpoints. I was over at Counterpoints this morning, and one of the moderators there was like, it was an unconstitutional arrest. And I'm like, probably not. They probably arrested him constitutionally. Now the charges may be unconstitutional, but him getting arrested, I'm pretty sure they could arrest him. It's weird how poorly people understand the law. The law. PatCon was highly successful, and so was Cast. Okay. You got a new mic, but you can't chat on stream. No worries, man. No worries. Ashton A. Alwine was wanting to come up, and if he's still here, he's welcome to do so. I'll drop the link in the chat for him. And basically anybody else, but just waiting to see if he is here. I am the law. I do that actually pretty well. I am the law. There you go. Got home from a small vacation. Good to see me. Thank you. Appreciate that. There you go. That's easy. They despise religion. They won't even start about thinking that it is wrong because they agree with hating the building, people in it. And it's like, yeah. Well, and they were getting back at conservatives who were mad at the illegal protesters. I mean, that's what's so weird about this. It's like third graders out there, like, you guys don't like our protests, so we'll just protest in your church. Like a bunch of bratty kids. Bunch of bratty kids. No thought behind those SSRIs. That's funny. That's funny. We probably shouldn't say that too loud because that probably smites them. Smiting. They've been smitten. Smit. Whatever. Something. Spiteful children. That's right. You look proud of that one? That was pretty good. All right. Well, Kel has not messaged me back, so her roommates probably came home. Hopefully she's staying clean and sober. Kel, if you can hear me, I really do hope that you stay clean and sober. Wait, what? LAPD downtown headquarters is under siege at both ends of the complex? Oof. They need to arrest all of them. Just arrest them all. Same thing happened in a mosque. If the same thing, happened in a mosque, they would have already arrested the entire crowd. Correct. Yes, absolutely. And they'd be doxing the parents of the people involved. For sure. All right, guys. I don't know if Ashton's still in the chat, but if he is, here is the link, Ashton, and OG, and anybody else that wants to jump up. I am going to start a new Discord for Gun Prattle, for the Gun Prattle audience. So I'm gonna do that. Protesters have the building blocked off. Yeah, see, in California, they can get away with that because it's not against the law for them to impede, to block vehicles and stuff. But in other places in the country, that's illegal, and they would be in a lot of trouble. But they're not. They're not. They're in California where they can get away with that shit. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. California is a failed society, Cam. That's for sure. All right, so we talked about Don Lemon a little bit. What about all right? So where are you guys at with the with the way the state government is not complying with the federal government in Minnesota? Where are you guys at on that right now? Hassan banned, but he will be back. Hassan banned who? Or did Hassan get banned? That'd be hilarious. Fuck It Button says, I have a lot of regrets. Closing my business to move to Texas and work for a company is not one of them, even though apparently Muslims are chill here, which is gay. Okay. Oh, it is illegal in California. Uh-oh. Why aren't they arresting these fools? Put them in jail. Twitch banned him for the 7th time. But they love him though. Like you should have seen all of the people dressed in that little maid's outfit that Hassan dressed up in or whatever at TwitchCon. It was hilarious. It was disturbing, actually. It was disturbing. TwitchCon was just a realm of horrible garbage. So yeah, I don't know. It's Cam the King. If you can do that, that would be very impressive. I don't think you can. I think that that they'll come crying and be very mean to you. But if you can do that, go for it. I've been very tempted to open a coffee shop in specific places called Aloha Snack Bar. Yes, we have armed security at churches, and churches have the option of not only having their own armed security, but having city and or county officers on site. Come down to the Aloha Snack Bar where we have coffee to die for. Ba-dum-ching. Explosive flavor, exactly. The Aloha Snack Bar. Aloha Snack Bar works better in Hawaii? Kinda. It'll work great in downtown Chicago, though. You want to own a share too? Yeah. Yeah, we have armed security at almost every church. And when I say that we have armed security, they're not employees. They're usually deacons or other trusted member of the churches that will that are armed, and you don't know who they are unless, I mean, if you're a member, you might know. But if you're, they're not like in tack gear or anything. Do you brew it in a pressure cooker? Why not? Why not? Why not? Guys, going forward, we're going to have a lot of really exciting shows coming up. We have it probably in a week or so. We're going to have more guests. Some of those guests will be e-girls. Don't get too excited about that. They're normal. They're not whatever caliber e-girls. But we're going to have, and they're going to be on. They're going to have a great time, good discussions, and it's going to be pretty awesome. We'll also be having some other guests. I'm trying to get some political folk on, but unfortunately, political folk don't like to be recorded saying anything these days. So we'll see how that goes. Bananas and rice at the Aloha Snack Bar, assault style pineapple cider vinegar. Yeah, sure. You have a shirt idea I want to make, but have too many project goings. There you go. Me and my family grid have been looking at buying 500, 700 acres and building separate homes spaced out on the property. My folks are getting older. I viewed a property last week. It would have been 2 of my siblings and my folks. Yeah, there you go. Peace be with you, MFer. The deacon just unloaded his 44. Yeah, absolutely. Hey, Mikey Balls. What's up, man? We were just discussing a potential new business venture, the Aloha Snack Bar, coming to a town near you. Will their links be in the description? Possibly. Yeah, I haven't seen or heard from Mooncake in a while. She apparently went back to Canada land. And I haven't seen her on or anything. I haven't looked either, to be honest. So, Mooncake and yeah, bacon is king, Christ is God. Well, you're close. Yeah, you're close. Welcome in, everyone, tonight. I don't know how many people are actually watching and who are bouncing between here and Andrew's stream, but that's okay. It praises bacons and pisses off Muslims, of course. She's self-deported, yes. Yeah, she's self-deported. Back to Canada land. If you don't steal it, I'm gonna have to make it. All right, let me I gotta copy it. Yeah, there you go. Just because you like it, yeah. I'll put it up on my website. I actually need to start doing more T-shirts. I have a lot of T-shirt stuff going on. I just haven't put them up. Why don't you come hang out with? Why don't they come hang out over here? I threw the link in my Discord, and you guys can all come up and hang out on my show here in a nice, clean establishment with an audience and shit. What's up, Tyler, by the way? Tell me, hey, the link's out there, man. Just drop it up. Drop it like it's hot and come on. Bring it on. You know, fuck it, Button. If you have a good idea for a T-shirt or two, just send them to me and we'll put it up on my website. You can, we can use. I have all the distribution and everything laid out. You don't have to do anything. Just provide the design and sit back and collect the cash. I sit down this week with everyone. We've found 2 properties that would work. Okay, that's about the properties. By Jason, I'm positive they mean Aircraft Sparky. Aircraft Sparky is cool. I like that guy. He's good. He's pretty awesome. He's pretty rad. So what a bunch, the news cycle just, it just keeps delivering. I mean, we've got Don Lemon arrested. We've got multiple, incidents of nincompoops deciding to screw with cops and getting, things happen. Where is Tyler? Tyler, go get the boys and bring them over, man. I don't even know where Pentuple is these days. Pardon me. Where is the MAGA headquarters? You know, somebody I haven't heard from in a while is that Enemy Charlie person. I used to see Enemy Charlie all the time I used to actually see Enemy Charlie all the time in the debate, in various debate places, asking to be on debates, or, you know, she was going to be in a debate. I hadn't seen her since that show on whatever. But I hear that, you know, I hear she's got other things going on now. We could probably ask Admiral Gibbs when he gets back about that. What do I make of the 700 boxes of ballots the FBI seized in Fulton County, Georgia? Did Maduro give them up? I mean, maybe. Maybe. Then Tupple is on kick. He can be here too. It's easy. I think you're right. I think that you're right about this. I think that she has gone full on degen. The last time I saw Enemy Charlie was she was on, other than when Andrew was on, she was on what's her name stream, and they were doing their like Tuesday night or whatever stream where they do the they call it's like a dating show or something, and it's basically to fleece a bunch of simps out of money. Bring Pent and everybody with you, Tyler. We could jabber. I like jabbering, but I haven't seen Enemy Charlie in a minute. I don't think she's debating anymore after that thing with Andrew. I think that was probably the high point, and she dropped off. I could be wrong, though. Ladies and gentlemen, Tyler, the average debate enjoyer.
I got some shit to say.
Well, say it then.
I got some shit to. So that guy.
Where's been Tupple?
He has to go to bed. He has a radio show in the morning, so it'll probably just be Jason coming after.
I want to talk to that fool. He's doing a bunch of 2A stuff, and there's 2A stuff going through the courts right now.
Yeah, he has a radio show at 8 a.m. that he has to go to, so he's got to be up at like 6:30 or something. So
all I'm hearing is a bunch of excuses, and not any damn actions. He's
a bitch. So that guy who's
he's young. He's young. He doesn't need sleep. He's young, and I don't think he's got a girlfriend. He doesn't need sleep.
He does now. Yeah, he does. He's no longer potentially.
He's no longer
gay.
Single.
He's no longer potentially gay. I think he's at least bi now. So.
Oh, he's bi.
Yeah. So.
Got it,
but
dude.
That guy you were on the stream of yesterday, I was in the chat for most of that. I was getting a little angry because like that dude has like 40 videos about Sarah on between his two channels.
Yeah,
He's obsessed with her, and then every time she answers,
well, you know what I figured out, and I talked to Sarah a little bit about this yet. Well, Sarah like DM'd me yesterday, and she's like, you know, the guy's put out like a lot of hit pieces on me, and I just don't respond to them, and then when I respond, that they get all over it. Well, and I was like, all right, well, okay, fair enough. I don't think that I don't think her going after Paige and all of that was real smart. I don't think that was something she should have done. I think she was worse. I think she was wrong, right? Like, I don't think Paige is stupid. I don't think Paige is a bad debater. And I certainly don't think that at the time Kel debated Paige, Kel was very strong at all in debate. So if you're just wrong, you're wrong, whatever. But I did look into it because she messaged me and she says, hey, in fairness, look at this, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, all right, you know what? Fair enough. I'll check into it. And sure enough, absolutely right. Vic has done quite a bit of content on Sarah, and I told her this, I'm going to tell everybody this. He is a reaction streamer. He literally he picks a stream that's got a lot of fucking views, usually an Andrew stream or the Tomato or somebody like that in this community. He picks, if it's got a ton of views, he then reviews it and criticizes it and makes comments and smart remarks and things like that. And that's what he does. And there's a shit ton of people that do that. And I can't get mad at him for doing that. That's his content.
Sure.
Now
slop. He makes slop. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, you're right. Right. Well, yeah, I thought AI was slop, but whatever. So I'm on the I don't give a fuck section. I think that, and I said today I was talking over on OGs, and I'm like, I just don't care anything about these review streams. It's all drama, right? Like it by definition, for them to grow, for them to even have an audience, they need to stir some drama. There needs to be a reason for people to come watch them. And since they're reacting to somebody else's content, it's by definition, it's just drama.
I agree, but at the same time, like Sarah responding to these 10-to-1 attacks, it was not a good look for her. So if it's not a good look for her to respond in a much smaller magnitude, obviously it's definitely not a good look for him to be a drama farmer.
Well, but I don't think it matters, right? Like, and Andrew and I talked about this long ago when I started this, and he's like, look, there's basically, if you get big enough, there's three types of streamers, and if so if you're a creator, you create original content like Sarah does, like Andrew does, like I do. You're going to get haters that are going to review your content and hate on it, and you're going to get people who promote you and who review your content and promote you, right? And some of them are a mix. And he's like, you can't get mad about it. It's what they do. It's there, just ignore it, and it's no big deal. You put it in AIDS. I'm sure he means Abe's chat. I heard him say that. I was watching that. Oh, you okay? Yeah. I saw that Bandit. Look, I think Vic's a great guy. I don't think he's out to. I don't think he's out to be antagonistic or to, what's up, Avoided Hornet? Good to see you. I don't think he's out there to push people down or put people down. I think he's out there to generate content, and he and if it's funny or if it's it feeds the crowd, I think I don't know. I don't see a real problem with that. What's up, Jason? How are you? Guys, if you want to come up, the link is pinned, or not pinned. The link is posted in the mod chat. The mods will get you the link. You can just go over to the Discord, go to the waiting room, and ask for the link, and the mods will give you the link. I know it's weird for people to do it that way. I just do it that way because that's how I do it. But he done. I know Tyler might piss me off sometimes, but he done spurged real good the other day. I have to sub now with the link. Okay, all right, that's good. That's good. Fuck it button. I like, to be honest, I like Tyler more. The more conservative Tyler gets, the just damned if he isn't a handsome motherfucker now. Like he was a soy leftist when I met him. And now, pretty soon he's going to be an anti-interventionalist, probably maybe even a full-on isolationist. Just got to get a little bit more of that soy out. A little bit more. Let's see. Somebody asked me a question. Serious question. When are the No Kings protesters going to protest in Greenland over the Denmark king going to Greenland? That's fair question. Fair question. You got any input on that there, Tyler?
Just everything a leftist says is generally a lie. No kings, but that doesn't apply to Venezuela, Iran, or any other dictators that are anti-America. Those kings, perfectly fine. In fact, we need to support and endorse them. It's just anti-Trump messaging. They're trying to fucking ramp people up so they can pull them into pull the moderates away and say, oh, he is acting a little harsher than he should as the president. Maybe they have a point. And then it's the Mott and Bailey. As soon as they rope those people in, then you realize they're fucking crazy, deranged leftists trying to get moderates to vote for them. And then, yeah, fuck you. I don't need you for 3.5 more years. Piss off.
That sounded like some angst. You just earned a background change. All right. What does Aircraft and Tyler think of Don Lemon and mandatory fitness in schools? What do you think about the Don Lemon arrest today, Tyler?
I think it's not only legitimate, but it's also exactly what Joe Biden did in the exact same laws that they use. So they passed a law. They were trying to pass a law a few years back that would bar people from protesting inside abortion clinics, make it illegal. And the Republicans said, we're not going to vote for that unless you give us some concessions. So they said, okay, we'll add churches to that as well. If you go inside a church and disrupt them the same way you're disrupting an abortion clinic, both are a crime. And then you could use the KKK Act from the 1800s as an upcharge to make it a felony, something Biden did to multiple people. So it was just the status quo. So doing that shit back to Don Lemon, the way that Joe Biden did that to journalists that went into the Capitol on January 6th, is very fitting. And if the shoe fits on one foot, then it's going to fit on the other motherfucking foot. And that dude should go to jail for probably 3 to 5 years.
I mean, I agree. I mean, I think that it's I'm actually shocked it took this long to get him arrested. So apparently they were the local judges were being advocates and advocating from the bench. So let me ask you something, Tyler, because this seems to be this seems to be something that's more and more common. We saw it during Obama's administration. We saw it during Trump's first administration. We saw it during the Biden administration. And now we're seeing it again. And that's these judge advocates, right? These judges that are advocating for political policy or political alignment from the bench. What do you think about that?
Like the district judges?
Yeah, local or state, local and district court judges.
So like Boasberg, the guy that told Trump to turn the planes around after they'd already left the country, something he didn't have the authority to do, and they tried to hold him in contempt. He's gotten a writ of mandamus, which is the strongest punishment you can do besides filing articles of impeachment against a judge. All these judges, I think there's like 15 cases where left-wing judges in like 3 areas, Washington, D.C., Maryland, and I can't remember the other fucking state off the top of my head, have been doing activism on behalf of their constituents and other defendants to go against the Supreme Court. Almost all of them have been overturned by appeals courts. You saw Chuck run into an appeals court a few days ago. It's activism from the bench. So At the end of the day, yeah. Hey, Cal, I miss you.
Cal, grab the link and jump up here. What are you doing? Go grab the link, Cal. Actually, I'll just throw it. I'm gonna put it directly.
Yeah, Cal, you want to come up and argue about ICE? Let's do it.
I got to be honest, man. I'm really unhappy about the. I'm really unhappy about these judges. I don't know what to do about it, but I feel like there's something that has to happen with these advocate judges.
Boasberg needs to be impeached for sure. He's gotten 1 writ of mandamus, and the second one's filed for already. Boasberg for sure has to be impeached. I could see Tanya Chutkan as well in D.C., her getting some articles of impeachment because the appeals court has slapped her down twice, and the SCOTUS has slapped her down once as well. So if you're going that much against what the understanding of law is to be an activist on the bench, articles of impeachment need to come.
Well, I mean, for certain, there's an issue no matter what we talk about here when we have judges who are advocating for their personal politics from the bench. And we can't, and I actually don't understand why we're having this discussion after we saw it so clearly during Obama's administration. Trump won, Biden, and now obviously Trump too. I mean, you even have the press saying that these judges are being political advocates from the bench and not standing on law. They're actually, it's more policy than anything, right? And it's crazy. And what do we do about it? Do we need to start like arresting judges? Do we need to have federal law enforcement come in and arrest judges that are advocating? I understand that we can't do it. I'm saying what you can, what should we do?
You can, you shouldn't. But what you should do is you should actually petition the legislature to actually do their job and impeach the judiciary when they act out of line. And you should also start pressuring the SCOTUS to hold their own accountable, as is part of their job.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of ridiculous. Everyone's like, oh, well, this, that, and the other. And judges are seemingly untouchable for some reason. Mm-hmm. And we actually need to have equal and fair enforcement of laws and rules. Okay. It's plain and simple. Look, we had the Biden administration who did not enforce the nation's immigration laws. Now we have riots going on in Minnesota by anti-democratic individuals who believe that they are fighting a tyrannical government. No, they're fighting what they consider to be a tyrannical election system of which they lost. You have the ability to address your government every 2 and 4 years at the ballot box.
It's true.
So when they say that the Second Amendment is to rise up against tyrannical government, yes. However, Ulysses S. Grant said, you have your means to address your government. You do it at the ballot box. Just because you lose, that doesn't give you the authority to rise up against it. You lost, accept it. Elections have consequences. Be a fucking adult.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
I rarely am.
So what's going to need to happen is a right-wing judge is going to have to be an activist. The right-wingers are going to have to make a sanctuary city, and then we'll see actual repercussions for these things that the next Republican president can do back to them, because the Republicans never do it first. They always wait for the Democrats to set the precedent and then act like they're, clutch pearls over it and say, we never did this bad thing. Look how bad they are.
You're not wrong.
Gives a fuck. And then
Bandit, why? Why, Bandit? Boomer sooner. No, never hook 'em horns.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong about that.
But, okay, and you were talking about reaction channels. I really want to weigh in on this. Reaction channels are one of the lowest forms of YouTubery. It is for individuals who don't have their own opinion and cannot find any attention otherwise. They have no original thought of their own. All they can do is take the scraps off of other creators that are actually doing things and gripe about it. Personally, I think it is I think most of the reaction community, if that's all they do, they're no talent. They're no better than people who only moderate debates because they don't have the ability to communicate a message of their own.
Interesting. Well, I mean, the reaction channels, I actually don't have a problem with the reaction channels. I mean, I do mostly consider reaction channels kind of hacks and not worth watching.
Well, so
I like Vic.
I don't have a problem with it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But I find it to be no talent.
Sure. Okay. And look, I like Vic. I think he's a good guy. I like some of the observation he makes. I think he's kind of, he has a channel that brings a bunch of people in the community together and like-minded people and all that. So I have absolutely no problem with him. I have no problem with the people who make, who are on the other side of that. Right. who go out and make fun of my videos or make fun of me and my whatever and whatever. Look, that is the internet. Grow a pair, right?
Yeah, look, when I was putting out content, I had a couple of channels that would review my shit and hate on me. I loved my haters. Please give me exposure.
Sure.
That's really all it is.
Yeah.
I'll give you some fucking exposure right here. You want to see it?
No
one wants to see your little tuna can. Okay, it's fine. But it's ridiculous.
Skull can actually, but
it's ridiculous. I recently had an interaction with a creator on Twitch who accused me of racisms and didn't understand what the hell I was saying to begin with.
So he was wrong about you. He was wrong about what you were being racist about, but he wasn't wrong about you being racist.
No, I wasn't being racist. I was mocking generational inbreeding and a culture that
fair enough
that does things like push inbreeding and a whole country that has an average IQ of 67. Yeah. I'm talking about the Somali community.
Yeah. I hate the gun tubers too, Clover Tack. Glad I'm not one.
I don't hate gun tubers, but they are okay. Gun tubers are nothing more than advertisers for the gun manufacturers. That's all they are. How many times have you actually seen a gun tuber give negative reviews?
I have.
I've seen a few. I've seen a few, but the vast majority of them are actually hyping up mediocre guns. I will give Garand Thumb some credit because he will actually call out things that he does not like. But still, for the most part, he is an advertising agency for whichever gun manufacturer he's reviewing at that moment.
Yeah, for sure.
I love seeing people absolutely tear down things. Okay, I run with a 509C. That's my EDC. And FN's triggers are fucking garbage.
I mean, let's just be honest. FN in general has been garbage for the past 15 years, and they don't seem to want to fix it. So,
well, my only issue with FN has always been their triggers. Their trigger system.
I got a lot of issues with FN.
I've never had any other problems with them. I've used them out in the field and everything else. The very reliable weapons.
So FN, built the SCAR for no damn good reason. It's fucking heavy. It works kinda, but not really. It destroys optics because the recoil impulse is bad. So if you put an optic on it, it's going to break it because of the way the recoil impulse works. There's just so much wrong with the SCAR in and of itself. But the thing is that FN knows what's wrong with it, and they won't fix it. They actually will just tell you, that we still sell them, so we're not fixing it.
Look, as long as SOCOM continues to purchase them en masse, they're not going to.
Yeah, and they don't use them; they just have them. But
no, they use them. I've seen them. I have helped.
Really, I've never seen anybody actually using an FN.
So actually bringing them out into the field. Yes, I've deployed Ranger teams, D-boys, SEALs. Yeah. I have brought them out to their missions, and they were carrying SCARs. As their battle rifles. Now, not everyone was carrying.
Yeah, that might be. It might be.
So, but
FN's worse than that because, I pick on a SCAR first. Now let's move to the pistols. They change the pistol. They don't tell you they changed it, so you don't know which mags fit which gun, and it's just FN's and they honestly don't care. They're just like, yeah, we don't care.
I hate Glock, but I will tell you one of the great things about Glock is the universality of their magazines. And everything else, their ergonomics suck.
Yeah,
Glock
FN gives zero fucks. They'd be like, yeah, we don't care.
But I'll tell you the reason why I carry a 509C is because ergonomically it feels better. I've never
try the CZ P10C.
Well, yes, CZs are great, but I don't want to pay. I get better deals on FN for the amount of money that I spend on an FN platform. I get more than what I will get out of a CZ, which I have.
I think you're selling yourself short. The P10C is not a particularly expensive gun, and the trigger for a plastic Fantastic is amazing. Just a stock trigger,
and see, I've got to upgrade. I've got to upgrade my trigger on my 509,
and the grip. So one of the problems I have with all compact handguns is the grips are slick. They're plastic Fantastic, so they're slick. And then when you grab so what happens is let's say that you've got your FN, right? That doesn't have a tremendously aggressive grip texture, right? It's kind of slick and whatever. So when you're sitting there, if you just fire 1 or 2 rounds, no big deal. But if you try a string of 6 or 8, by the time you get to like round 3, the gun's already shifted in your hand and you're having to fix your grip while you're trying to shoot. So
see, I do when I do my drills. I mean, I'm running Mozambiques, so I shoot in groups of 3. I do not have that issue. I can do a complete mag dump without having to really adjust. But I also run with the extended mag because with most compacts, the handle itself is usually a little too short when you have man hands. So I run with an extended mag instead of a 12 round. I run with a 17, and I have no issues with movement. But that's also I had to learn how to grip a pistol properly, and a lot of people, and this Grid, most people don't hold a pistol properly.
Yeah, for sure. And that's actually when I'm always when I'm at the range. I try not to anymore, but it's almost without fail that I'll go to the range and I will be just sitting there and somebody will be shooting next to me or a couple of stalls down, and their grip will be so bad. Yeah, and then I'll actually
you can get away with it with a 9, but I used to carry a 40. You can't get away with it with a 40. When you're shooting that slightly larger caliber, when you got that larger powder charge.
Yeah, like 40. 40 is like not. It's like the juice isn't worth the squeeze on the 40.
So I like it for the kinetic transfer of a 45 with the weight of a 9. I mean, really, that's why. That's the only reason why I like
the round. I mean, you're giving up round count. You're increasing recoil for no good reason. If you want,
there's a reason why I carry a 9 now.
Oh man,
it actually is. Hot. So it is the round count that sold me why I carry a 9 instead of a 40.
Yeah,
but I used to carry a 40, and the reason why is because supersonic rounds, like with the 9mm, has a tendency to go through fleshy things without stopping. Where a 40, with it being slightly subsonic, it actually transfer more of that kinetic power, and that's what I liked.
See, I'm on the other side of that. One of my favorite rounds to carry is 38 Super, because car doors exist.
Yes, they do.
And I might have to punch through one. So
yeah,
38 Super is the perfect defense round. People just are too stupid to realize it.
Yeah.
So what's up, Clover Tack? The man, the myth.
What up, gentlemen? What up?
So
no, I'm just talking shit. I don't know if to do
that.
Are you an Okie for real?
I'm not an Okie. I'm a transplant. Okay. I live in Oklahoma.
Well, that's an Okie.
I am an OU graduate.
Are you?
Okay. Yes.
Okay. So that's pretty close. That's pretty close, man.
But I will be an Okie no more here soon. Pretty soon I'm going to be moving to the second most based state in the nation, Utah, the second highest red state in the nation, home of Senator Mike Lee, one of the most based senators that exist. Mm-hmm. I mean, I go where the work is, and right now the work for me happens to be in Utah. So
Utah's got a lot of places to shoot too.
And it's beautiful land. It really is. So
yeah, for real.
Yeah, I like 38 Super a lot. Like it's the perfect self-defense round.
The perfect ghetto round. What are you talking about? Vato round.
No,
38 Super. Yeah.
no,
Yeah, it
38
is.
Super is where it's at.
Yeah, it is.
Now,
Yeah, it is.
now
I agree.
if you want
38
the
is amazing.
perfect, if you're really concerned about not having a flying ashtray to transfer energy into somebody, just go for 45 gap.
Yeah, you in the gap, dude. I swear.
And no, Bandit, I'm not converting over to the LDS. Look, I don't even follow the Methodist sect of Christianity because my grandmother's old enough to go, no, that didn't happen that way. So I'm just not interested in that. But thank you for asking. Just going to the land of Mormons, not becoming one.
Yeah, everybody go over and sub to Tyler, the ADE guy. He's trying to hit 500 subs. We got to get him up there. And
we got to get him more versed in fucking talking gun prattle. That's what we got to do.
Yeah,
He's just sitting there like a bump on a pickle.
Well,
what the hell?
He's in Texas now, so that's a good start.
God, where you at? Where are you at in Texas, Tyler?
Yeah, maybe I'll buy one. My first gun.
Hey, let me help with that. Hit me up.
Let me help with that.
Where'd you say you were? DFW area?
I'm in Dallas.
Okay. Yeah, that's only a couple. That's only a couple of hours. There's some pretty good gun shops down here, man.
I'm thinking about maybe getting my first one. Hey, I grew up with a deficiency. I was left wing my entire life, so I'm just now snapping out of that.
He's been handicapped.
Well, I'm not that far away. I have a range at my house, and I've got plenty of toys to play with. So, and the ammo will be on me. So,
Tyler, have you come to grips with the Texas thing of anything within inside 4 hours is close?
Yeah, I've noticed that. Gibbs told me he was close to me. I looked; it's like 4 hours away. I'm like, what the?
That's right.
That's Georgia.
That's basically next door in Texas.
I live in northern Texas, the most base part of Texas. The state where all the legislation that actually happens in Texas happens 2 years after. Oklahoma is one of the most base states. I will tell you this. I remember we had constitutional carry years before Austin even allowed it to happen.
Yep.
We have banned abortion altogether. Texas will never do that. Just saying. But I told Tyler the other day I'm like 3 hours away. I told him he's like 3 hours away, and he goes, "Oh well, I guess that isn't too long." I'm like, "Yeah, it's just down the road." It's
anything inside an hour is just next door.
Yeah,
Texas goes, in my opinion, too far with some stuff, and then not far enough with others. It's the Republican Party here sucks ass.
Well, no, the Republican Party sucks ass everywhere.
Well, this is true.
Honestly,
no, it's true. That's valid.
Most Republicans, they want to maintain the status quo. They don't want to utilize the power that they are granted by their voter base.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying go insane and completely change how America looks overnight or anything, but those things that you actually advocate for when you're running, you need to actually do.
All right.
So the riots that are happening in Minnesota, these are actual insurrectionists. And the reason why is because they're the same people who will be screaming democracy while actively fighting the democratic will of the people to enforce the laws it was Donald Trump who made the promise, I will enforce the laws as they are written. I will deport all illegal immigrants. And no, you can't take away our voter base. I mean, right now, Missouri just filed a complaint talking about how illegal immigrants are affecting representation. I believe Florida has filed one of the same type of things. That is going to the Supreme Court. Non-citizens should not be counted in our registry on our census to determine representation because they aren't constituents.
Yeah.
But most Republicans will sit there and go, well, now look, their children go to our schools. They shouldn't. It is simple. Our laws exist, enforce them. If you don't like the laws, write new legislation and get that passed. That is how the world works. And if you have a problem with the government, the way you address it properly and civilly currently at this moment would be at the voter box. Stop crying because you lost.
These are the same people that cheer on all the January 6th people being hunted down for months after that happened and having terrorist upcharges put on their trespassing to get them prison time for years for trespassing. It's fucking wild to see those people suddenly are out of power and they're now fully compliant with attacking federal officers. And then on top of that, they're also arguing that they're the voice of the people, and Donald Trump's a fascist. Like it's just wild to watch the projection. That's why leftists right now cannot speak without lying. I just can't fucking stand it anymore.
Yeah, it's look. Alex Preddy committed suicide by cop. I will sit there and say, 10 toes down. The shoot looked bad. It was lawful.
Yeah, it was
awful.
messy. It was definitely messy.
It was lawful but awful. But he essentially committed suicide by cop. So did Renee Good. It sucks to be you. You know what? They won the should have stayed home award.
Well, I mean, I think Preddy, honestly, based on the fact, so I was kind of in that boat before I learned that he had actually engaged with officers 10 days prior.
Well, see, I don't care about that, and here's why.
And that's
because the actions of what he did prior should not color the actions of what happened on that day.
Sure, but it's a pattern, and patterns matter. And
I agree.
He did the exact same thing. Is he went out and he antagonized ICE agents with his firearm on him, and that time he they didn't shoot him.
Yeah.
So he did it again. He did the exact same thing. He left his house with the intent to interfere and harass agents. He stalked them, and I 100% that he purposefully wanted to have a lethal engagement with during
Oh, yes. But here's the deal. And I can say
so it
this
absolutely matters. 100%.
because during the Summer of Love, I was on the ground documenting riots. Okay. I was armed. I would be in the middle of these people raising
nobody
hell.
cares about him being armed. That's irrelevant.
And literally, I had some people who normally wore masks, who occasionally their mask got pulled down, and they would come to me and say, "You can't publish that. Shut the fuck up. You're in public. I don't care." Oh, well, Will, and I lift my shirt up and say, "Go ahead." And they'd, "Oh, well, he's got a weapon." Yes, I do have a weapon, but I would do everything I could to avoid conflict. That is what you're supposed to do, and you know this, Grid. If you're carrying,
well, I mean, if you're carrying,
you want to avoid conflict, because
right. If
no one wants to shoot someone else.
If you are lawfully carrying a weapon, which, by the way, at the time of the incident, he was not lawfully carrying. People need to stop saying that. He was not lawfully carrying. We'll get into that in a minute. But
so you're mentioning because he didn't have ID on him, right? And he didn't.
Yeah, state law says if you don't have ID on you, that's so now it's a fine. It's a ticket. It's a fine, but it is illegal to do so, and it could have led to his losing this permit altogether, and probably should have. But that's again, a lot of this is just irrelevant. The relevant part of this is that he knew he was armed, and he purposefully
interjected himself with law enforcement activity.
Yes. Went and aggressively interacted with law enforcement now without saying I'm armed. So I'm not, I don't want to be a threat to you or any of that. So, and this is something I've been harping on all week, and I've taken some shit for it, but I'm going to continue to say the same thing. I carry a gun all the time. While I'm sitting here, I'm armed. I'd show you, but YouTube would take my channel.
They don't like that. Yeah.
But I do not purposefully go to places and get involved with law enforcement.
No,
As a
not
matter of
at all.
fact, if I see law enforcement, I either say, guys, before we start this, I'm armed. It's wherever it is on my body, and I'm legally carrying. And they usually go, yeah, it's cool. Don't reach for yours. I won't reach for mine.
Yeah.
You know?
And-
But at the same time, I don't go to bars. I don't go to bar fights. I don't go to places that where there's could be issues while I'm armed, because again, there's a sense of responsibility that you assume. And the fact that he did it twice shows to me a pattern of this guy's
one
out
of them,
control.
He spat at the officers and was also screaming,
Yes.
"Assault me, motherfucker." Now, I will tell you, during these riots and protests that I was covering, if I had to talk to police, I would do this, and I would let them know, I am armed. It is on whichever hip.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. But I would keep my hands up
And
here.
I'm not reaching for it.
Yes. And I did this that way they can see. You can see my hands. You know, I don't want none. Don't need to be none.
Yeah.
You know,
I think we're all on the same page here, because literally, and I went through this. I've been through this all freaking week, where I'm just telling you that guy was wrong. I mean, I gave a little bit of room in the beginning because I didn't have all of the information I have now, but now I'm just telling you that dude.
Well,
that dude was in trouble.
I haven't spoken out on it because I wanted to make sure that they weren't going to release a minute or 2 minutes before it shows something completely different.
Sure.
Because that's the way it happens. I want to be consistent in what I'm saying. I believe the means in which he was shot does not look good, but I don't believe
I thought that, but I disagree now.
And I hear you, but I look at what the cops did. I think in context with the potential of an ND happening, and they know
but the ND did not happen.
So it wasn't an ND?
Nope.
So what was the first shot? What
what happens with the first shot, and I have a good video I can get you for it, but what happens is there's an officer that's standing, who is kind of, depending on which angle of the video, he's kind of off to Alex's side. And the officer says gun, and another officer says gun, and removes the guy's gun. The problem is that the officer, as he's moving around, he's looking at Alex. He's not looking at that officer, so he doesn't know the gun is gone.
Yeah. Well,
he just hears gun, and and so he draws when he hears, and you can tell when he hears gun, he draws, and he's got the pistol at ready.
Yes.
As the officer is removing the gun and stepping back out of the way, Preddy reaches towards his belt line. The only thing the officer could think is he's going for the gun, or he's going for a backup.
Yeah. And
the minute he reaches for his waist, that guy puts one into his back, and then repositions, and then fires, I think, three or four more.
Okay. See, that is fair, because look, you can carry more than one gun at a time.
Yeah. And many do.
Yes.
Officers assume that you do.
Yes, because they do. You know, they some of them call them drop guns. They're usually unregistered. They may not even have serial numbers on them, because you got to CYA. You got to cover that ass. But it's the reality is,
CloverTac must have frozen or something.
Like, I don't care that he had a full mag. Oh my God, he had an extra mag. Who cares?
None of that matters.
That's the dumbest shit ever. I run with 3 mags, and I had some FUD son of a bitch. Well, I only carry enough for one whole load because when I aim, I don't miss. And I go, yeah, tell me you've never fired under duress or in combat without telling me so. Okay. The best marksman in the fucking world. And I'm talking about Delta. I'm talking about your Navy SEALs and shit. They miss all the time, because when the adrenaline's up, when you're actually doing the damn thing, you can and you will miss. And if, especially like with the police, when you have a squad of 5 to 8 officers affecting an arrest against a group within a group of protesters of 50 plus, I hate to break it to you, but sometimes you may have to shoot more than 15 times to effectuate getting, lessening the danger. Okay. Numbers mean things.
I mean, yeah. And so I'm not going to comment on the number of rounds fired or any of that. I mean, I don't know that the officers would count.
Cops are trained to shoot more than once. In fact, when you are shooting a weapon, when you're shooting at a person, you do not necessarily see the impact where it is or anything like that. You are firing. You fire until the threat is neutralized. What that means is it fails, it stops to move. So
right. Well, and Cam says people carry a second gun, but I wouldn't say the majority of people do. Yeah, right. But I agree with you. However, cops assume a second weapon. They just do. Why are you harassing your wife? That poor lady.
He's just showing her off, Everyone thought he was an incel. Now it turns out he's a married man, and so he's proud. Hey, look at me, guys.
Yeah, look, marriage has done a good job for him. Now he's going to buy a gun and everything. I mean,
look, I can't wait for him to buy a gun, but what I want more is I want him to give his life over to Jesus Christ, accept his Lord and Savior, and that way he can hang out with us in the afterlife later.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I want. The gun stuff is a nicety, but you know what? I want him to get spiritually right.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's more important.
I mean, I just feel like that, people that are armchair quarterbacking this really don't understand guns at all. And they really don't understand how these situations go down. Well, and I'm not saying that I have any specific insight. I'm just telling you that it's a messy shoot. Okay. There's a lot of things. But the more I think about it, the less messy it is to me, because I've said since the beginning that Preddy should never have gotten involved. He should never have involved himself. And I keep asking people, would you? They say, well, you wouldn't go. And actually, I had a guy the other night say, so you would not go to that woman's defense? And I'm like, no, that's an officer of the law, apparently affecting arrest.
Hey, so I gotta go run and take the dogs out. I have convinced my wife to sit here. She's gonna sit here and listen. If you have any questions, feel free.
Is she gonna yell at us?
Okay. Look. I have one very important question for your lovely, wonderful wife, and I hope she will tell us in the affirmative. But
I'm sorry.
Could you please, for the love of God and all things sacred, could you please make me some lumpia when I come see y'all on the 21st? I love lumpia.
I can make some lumpia for you. What do you want? Like pork, vegetable, chicken?
Whichever you prefer. Okay. Look, I love lumpia. I love adobo. I love Filipino food.
Oh, I can make adobo too. That's good.
It is. It absolutely is. I mean, look, of course we can't always rise to the level of LaShawn, but I'm a fat white guy. Of course, food is what I know from your country. But no, lumpia. I had a sister-in-law who was Filipina, and my mom divorced that guy's father, so we're not family anymore. But I used to love going over her house, helping her roll the lumpia and everything. And it's the only time I'll actually do things in the kitchen. But yes, because I think me, Tyler, Pentuple, and Gibbs are all going to be meeting, I think, on the 21st or around the 21st of February. And it's going to be amazing. I'm looking forward to it. Looking at meeting this wonderful lady right here. And by the way, good job at getting him to church. Okay, great job. That's amazing.
Thank you. Yeah, I can make you some lumpia, and I can also pack you some frozen ones so you can take home some.
Oh, beautiful. Love it. Love it.
All right.
You're amazing.
Yeah. So at any rate, yeah. So that's the. I mean, I've been talking about the Preddy thing all week, so
Yeah,
I got it locked down.
I've
heard all the arguments.
Yeah, I've determined just from my analysis that like I said, lawful but awful. It's not a clean.
I think the more I look at it, though, it's less. It's not as awful as it was originally. I was like, well, the officers could have handled it better, but when I look at it, I'm like, no, I don't think they could have, because this man purposefully intervened.
Yes,
and he shouldn't have, because I mean, I'm just asking any reasonable individual. You see an officer, okay, he pushed this woman down and he's yelling at her or whatever. He's, as far as you know, that guy's arresting somebody, and going over and messing with them is putting yourself at, and everyone else around you at risk.
Yes.
Okay. So you don't fight cops on, rule number one, we all know, don't fight cops on the street. We fight them in court. And, so I discard that now. I don't believe that. I don't believe that no matter how manly you are, you ought have gotten involved in that situation to start with.
Well, and
so
that's
once
why
Freddie decided to insert himself into that and physically touch the agent. This is the other problem that I have. Honestly, if he had just backed off a couple of steps, kept videoing and yelling at him or whatever, no problem. And I think he'd be alive today.
Yeah.
But the minute he touched the officer,
that's assault.
That's assault. Now, the officer didn't know it, but that's assault while armed, which is an enhancement, right? Now, and he would have gone to jail for that. But irregardless, now he's assaulted the officer or the agent. I keep saying officer, but he's an agent. Goes to spray, right? Now I'm at and originally I was being super generous in that Preddy, I've been tear gassed before or CS gassed before, and it's uncomfortable. I gave him the benefit of the doubt initially that, hey, he's been sprayed with this stuff twice in the face, and he's just flailing around. He's not actively resisting, but he's flailing around. But then as it drags on beyond 10 or 15 seconds, right, where he could have, like, I'll give him 5 or 6 seconds. That's a long time, by the way. 5 seconds.
It is.
For him to just kind of get his wits about him and put his hands on the ground and or prone out or whatever. And I could have gone with it, man. I could have been like, okay.
Let's do this real quick. Could you please highlight what Bandit just wrote? Because I think this is actually a distinction people need to understand.
Yeah, and I keep saying the wrong thing. I saw it come. I saw it pop up.
So Bandit asked, "What's the difference between an officer and an agent?" So a police officer traditionally is going to be your state or local law enforcement. They are trained in more general policing efforts, where a special agent is specially trained to deal with congressionally determined roles within federal law enforcement. So
yeah, that's a good description, but a better description is officers of the law are usually local, and they do traffic stop. They're generic. Yeah. Agents tend to be very focused.
Yes,
they have a narrow scope, and that's one of the reasons why I honestly believe that we're having so much trouble with ICE doing their job, is because normally in other places you have ICE officers or ICE agents operating as agents, serving warrants and effecting arrest.
Yes,
that's what they're doing. And anything else they have local officers do, like interacting with civilians who are protesting, interacting with traffic stops, and interacting with all, doing things that cops do.
Yes.
Right. So what we're asking federal agents to do is to act like cops when they're not cops. I keep saying officer because I use that term interchangeably, but it is really important to understand that they are agents, not officers.
Yes, there is a distinct difference. And when people say that ICE is untrained, that's incorrect. When the Democrats say, well, they're not even police. No one claimed they're police. They're law enforcement special agents. And they are acting under their congressionally mandated mission to perform specific actions of federal law enforcement, things that the local Leos cannot do.
Yeah. And Joseph is right here. If the left was consistent, they'd say cops can never point a gun at an individual who is carrying car, etc. And or the right hasn't thought to do it. I'm a little confused by that, not by much. I'm just saying, look, guys, this is can't believe I didn't get shot with my gun while pulled over today and every other time. Is this white privilege? Could be. Well, how is this? I've been carrying and I've been stopped. I've actually had a gun put in my face and I survived because I didn't do anything stupid.
Yeah. I get pulled over and my hands are on the steering wheel or on my dash and they go, "What's going on?" I have a weapon. It is located here.
Brother, let me tell you. I was in Reno driving I drove down from.
You told me the story,
yeah. And I had my hand on my wallet and one on the crank for the window, and she still pulled a gun on me. Scariest moment.
Yeah. I had a local sheriff's deputy come and try to bring a warrant for an appearance, a subpoena, I guess, to someone who lived at the same number address, but different street name, like same first name, but distinction such as lane, street, drive. Okay, I live on a lane, he lives on a drive, but I mean address exactly the same, other than that small difference. And he comes up to my door and he's trying to hand over, I guess, a subpoena or whatever. And he's like, "I'm looking for Joe," or whatever the dude's name was. And I said, "Someone lives here with that name." And he has his hand on his service weapon. And I say, "Excuse me, why do you have your hand on your service weapon?" And he goes, I don't know you. And I said, "Yes, but you're on my property. This is not the easement." I'm like, "You're trying to deliver papers. I understand this, but I told you this person doesn't live here. You have the wrong address. May I please see the summons," or whatever it is. "That's not for you to see." "Well, it's not for you to come into my house, go get a warrant. Until then, get on the easement, and you have a blessed day. And please get your hand off your fucking weapon. It makes me nervous." And he just goes, "Are you denying me?" "Absolutely." And I remain calm, but the whole time I just say, "Listen, sir, Mr. Officer Man, get on the fucking easement. I'm going to reach into my pocket and I'm going to call the sheriff's department. I see your badge number. I see your name. And I'm going to let them know that you're on my front porch with your hand on your service weapon, trying to effect a search on my house when I assure you have the wrong address." And I mean, we did it on the speakerphone. He identified himself to the dispatcher and they went, "What is your sir?" Asked me, "What's my address?" I told him and they went, "You're supposed to be on drive, not lane, you retard." Well, he told me to get on the easement. "Yes, you should probably leave his property. You are now violating state law. You are trespassing." And he was like, "Well, I'm sorry." I'm like, "Dude, I wouldn't care if you didn't have your hand on your pistol."
Yeah.
Honestly, I you're just trying to do your job. People make mistakes. Put your hand on your pistol.
The debate that out there is the debate enjoyer is back. The other version was much, much easier to look at. He can't hear me. He doesn't have his headphones on. The other version was a lot easier to look at.
Yeah.
All right. I think I've reached my limit. It's movie time.
Movie time.
Mm-hmm.
Tell him that I'll
Not sure yet. We'll figure it out, but we'll figure out which one. What's that?
You go watch movies and leave her here. She was more interesting anyway.
She wants to say something. What is it? Speak up. They can hear you.
Oh,
What do you want to say?
I said, just remind me of the lumpia so I can pack it up.
Oh yeah, I'll remind you of the lumpia. She also is very pro ice. I was hoping she was going to let you guys know.
Very pro ice.
Yeah. She thinks that people here are super fucking entitled. And
before you run off, you're like, so you never did actually tell me what the last straw was with the lefties.
Oh, the insurrectionism. Like they're openly supporting an insurrection because the election didn't go their way. The thing that they pretended like they were morally against. 5 fucking years we've been hearing these fucking retards talk about, oh, the insurrection was so bad. How dare they do that? And then as soon as it fucking happens again, they line right up, right behind the fucking insurrectionists, and they're lying about fucking what First Amendment. That's what fucking Jason and I were talking about earlier. All these First Amendment absolutists that are fucking, as soon as you say something they don't like, they'll ban you from their fucking channel and shit like that. They're all fucking liars.
Well, let me ask you something. What do you think about the 700 or so ballots that they found in Georgia?
Oh, it was 135,000. I thought that they can't.
Was that 100? I don't know how many it was. There's a lot that they found in Georgia that they're trying to pin on Maduro somehow.
You know,
I don't know about that specifically.
Let's not take anything we see on X as reality until it's brought.
I'm not on X. Well, I mean, I am on X. I'm just never on X.
They admitted in courts that there's 315,000 ballots in Fulton County that they can't prove were filed legitimately. And they're saying, if you take our word for it and know, hey, we only let people in here with their ID, so you have to trust that we can't back this up, but it's true anyways. That to me is enough to say those votes are invalid. If you want to blame anybody, blame fucking Fulton County.
300K with no signature. That's what it was. Yeah, 300K.
That's sick. Yeah,
it's fucking wild. And
it on Maduro.
800,000 people in Oregon that fucking had ballots that were like supposed to be purged from the rolls. They got ballots fucking mailed to them. That's fucking crazy too.
Look, that's one of my biggest fears is dying only to vote Democrat. I mean, seriously, that's what literally happens. People rise from the dead. The zombie hordes come. Always vote for Democrats.
I'm going to burn my voter ID card when I die.
It would make a better Republican Party if you had a safe Democratic Party to vote for, but they cannot tell the truth. And the whole time, every single one of them saying all right-wingers are liars. But how many genders are there? I don't know. I can't even define woman anymore. It's like they are living in a delusional reality most people don't side with anymore.
Another serious question. Did you catch Cool Vic and First Amenders debate the other night on Maduro?
No, my First Amendment
My God.
He's brain dead.
So bad. First Amendment was literally making shit up. Like, so get this. You're gonna love this, Tyler. So First Amendment's claim was that we committed an act of war by seizing Maduro, the head of a country.
We actually did.
Well, I would agree with that. It can't be an act of war unless somebody declares war. Well, right? Like there's no declaration of war, so it's not an act of war, right?
So you both are kind of right though. So actually getting custody of the leader of another country is a casus belli for them to declare war. They didn't do it.
No.
But it is an act of war. Technically, they're correct. However, the reality is they couldn't stop a force of 120 individuals invading their airspace and taking the supposed leader of their government, which is unelected, by the way, indicted through the Southern District of New York, which, by the way, was done by the Biden administration.
Yeah. First Amendment actually admitted that Maduro was probably not the legitimate leader of the country, but he was the leader of the country, and therefore it was wrong of us to imprison him, even though he had a bounty on his head. All right, well, that was one thing, but the best, it was so sweet. Is he's like, well, why? We only went down there for the oil and for the natural whatever else. And I was like, Vic, you can't let him get away with that. That's not why we went down there. We went down there because we had investors that lost. And Vic did, to his credit, he did say something about that we had lost money and we had corporations that owned all of that stuff and it was stolen from them. because he was basically accusing America of stealing Venezuela. And I'm like,
so I think
I was trying to get Vic to pay attention to chat, because the thing is that the claims that First Amendment were making were that that all the companies lost was the machinery and the rigs and that kind of thing. And they didn't,
the infrastructure that they built up and everything else. I mean, there's a lot. There's a lot that they lost.
Right.
It's
but his biggest claim was that we didn't, that the corporations did not have the rights to the reserves of oil, and therefore they didn't lose it. They didn't actually lose anything. I'm like,
has he seen the contracts?
Right. There's always going to be nobody's spending millions of dollars to put this infrastructure and this equipment in
on trust me bro type thing.
Yeah. Without contracts guaranteeing mineral rights.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, and so Mo Rebuttal actually called him on it in the chat. And he was like, well, yeah, once they pumped it out of the ground, it was there, but they didn't have rights to the reserves. And I was literally wanted to scream, it's not reserves, you dumb fuck. They're mineral rights when they're in the ground. Once you pump it out and put it into a container, then it's reserves.
Yes.
Right? Like, you just don't understand how this shit works.
Look, a lot of these people don't even agree with contracts unless it benefits them in some way. So and even then they don't understand them.
So bad. So poor Vic.
I watched Rob Nord do a debate the other night with zero prep against some guy who calls himself bass guitar. And it was Donald Trump doesn't respect the Constitution was his prompt. I think Rob did a wonderful job within that debate, but I would have just went, do you know the internal thinkings of Donald Trump? No. Right. Then the debate's over. You have to see.
Mind reader?
You don't know. So
I'm not a mind reader.
I'll tell you straight up. I respect the Constitution, but do I agree with every aspect of it? Well, absolutely not. There's some portions of the Constitution I'm kind of like, that was a mistake.
I mean, the whole anyway, Tyler, the whole debate with First Amender was just he literally was just making shit up, and Vic didn't call him on a lot of it, and it was really bad. Like, Vic had it like slam dunk, no problem, and I don't think Vic is obviously he's a new debater. I don't think he's a very experienced debater, and I don't think he prepped very well for this. So
well, at the end of the day, it's a systemic issue. It starts at the top. The person on the left wing that started arguing politics first was Destiny, and he will flat out make things up when he's cornered. He'll lie through his fucking teeth. Yeah. Because he has that ability to, and that is systemic. Everyone that's come from him, Vosh, Hassan, and all these other people, all of his current dick suckers like Pisco, Live and Learn podcast, Wick.
Oh, that guy that was on the other night that would just made shit up about the people. Were you here the other night when that guy was on talking about how we should be okay with the Venezuelan and South American immigrants coming in because they're mostly Christian and therefore share our values, and their first generation tend to vote conservative. And he kept saying it so many times. I'm like, that's got to be a lie. And sure enough, 23% of Hispanics total, not just the legal and illegal immigrants, but total Hispanics, only 23% voted conservative in the last election, and 40 and now Trump in the presidential election that jumped to 43%, but that was in a presidential election. And I'm like, you guys don't seem to understand. I was like, man, you guys don't seem to get it, that there's no reason, there's no advantage to having these illegal immigrants. He actually posted something in the chat about how I was wrong, but I proved him wrong multiple times. And that was an impromptu debate. I wasn't even, it's weird because I remember all of this like extraneous bullshit and can just recall it pretty easily.
As Vic,
get out of here, man. Go do your thing, man. We're going to talk guns here in a minute. We're going to stop talking poly and start talking guns.
So, but as Vic gets experience and he starts to drill down more on the quality of his rhetoric, he'll get better. Debate is literally just a rhetorical game, and the only way you get better is through practice.
Yeah, but some people don't have the temperament for it.
Well,
They get
you know what?
angry.
If they don't have the temperament, then they become strictly moderators. And I mean, it is what it is. You know,
Yeah.
you rely on the talent of others when you don't have the
I
talent.
really
yourself.
like Vic a lot. I hope that he grows into the position that he's in.
Well,
I think he can
I
do
would
it.
rather see him grow than currently. I disagree with the employment of some Canadian mumble rapper. I am not a fan of Speakeasy. But that's because unfortunately, he picked a fight with the wrong people, and then we learned about his personal life. And I'm sorry, I don't want to contribute to the delinquency of a deadbeat dad who refuses to pay for his children, little things like that, and I can't support that. I think part of the problem is we, as the more conservative leaning individuals, which I will say not all Republicans are actually conservative, because let's be honest, there's a lot of them that aren't. We tend to, when people fall out of the trope of what a conservative looks like, and they basically parrot what things that we say, people grab onto them immediately and go, "Oh, we got to perch this person up." Well, no, this person is a piece of shit, and also Canadian. I don't give a shit what a foreigner thinks about my politics in my country.
Yeah.
But I really don't want anyone representing the conservative viewpoint at all if they can't do the basics of taking care of their family and refuses to take care of their family.
So, at the beginning of a few weeks ago, after the first of the year, I said, all is, it's new year, all is forgiven. I'm not gonna, I don't care anymore. Any beef is consider it squash. Like there's no more.
And that's good. Look, I don't have beef with this guy. I
understand.
I don't see certain groups of streamers associated with a certain channel orbiting, the center of those groups channels operating with that, when one of the biggest part of their platforms is family values.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm sorry,
I'm going to be honest here.
Dealing with this guy.
Hold on. I'm going to be honest here. I will give, because I've heard that before. I will give Speakeasy not a pass, but I'm going to give him room to, I don't know what his situation is. I don't care. And it's totally up to him. If he wants to involve other people in his personal life, that's his business. Personally, I'm not going to judge him on things I don't know for a fact are true, and so I have no interest interest in even talking about.
The only reason why I said anything is because I actually saw the evidence, and I heard interviews with the former ex, and it all makes sense because you can actually back it up with things he has said online about these things, and that's the only reason. But honestly, I don't have beef with the guy. I just can't be part of the support of that individual. I think that we have better potential with more charismatic, more traditionally conservative individuals that can help push forward the message. And that's what,
that's totally okay. I'm just saying that I've heard all the same things. I know that his at least one of his exes is out there causing problems or whatever. I don't know, and I don't need receipts. I don't care. I don't want to know. That's his business. If he brings it up, then it's fair game. But until then, I don't care. And and I'm not going to judge him for it. Like I don't go there, but that's only because generically I'm here. And therefore, it's hard to be in two places at one time.
I'll tell you right now, as far as host for debates that I pay attention to.
Sure.
Okay. Obviously, I come on your channel
Yep.
I watch debates that you host.
Mm-hmm.
I watch debates that you participate in, depending on the platform. I can't stomach Prime Kai, so I just don't waste my time.
Yeah, that last one was just.
But for the most part, look, the people who I support, who I find to be good faith, who are well practiced in their rhetoric. I love watching Rob Noor debate. Yeah, and I think the Noor prep debates that he's doing with Speakeasy is a wonderful idea. I just think he's utilizing the wrong platform for that. I still watched it, but I watched it from Rob's channel because I don't want to show support for that host of that show.
Okay. Fair enough.
But it's just that's my personal deal. But look, we saw we saw an individual we both worked with, Grid, recently go on Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
Have you watched the interview?
I've not had time. I wanted to. I just haven't had time to watch it. I've seen clips, and I think it looks like it went great.
It was very. I was impressed with it. It was a discussion. It was not a debate. It showed the more personal side of Andrew, and it showed a side that you normally don't see on YouTube. I encourage everyone to watch it.
It was a typical Joe Rogan.
Yeah. It was done well. I think Andrew represented his worldview well, and basically broke down things that he thought and how he come to those conclusions well. And you may not always like the way Andrew does things, because I know I don't, but I got to see an extra dimension of Andrew that throughout the years I've had interacting with him and stuff. I've seen little bits and pieces of, but to see it all come together, you see that on the Joe Rogan Experience. I thought he did a great job, and I'm super excited to see someone who was, a peer at one time grow to the success that he has. And congratulations to you, Andrew.
I think that's most people's problem with Andrew is how fast and how large he's grown and how well he's handling it.
I love that.
I think it's a bunch of jealousy, and I'm actually really sick of it.
It's pure code. Look,
one of the interesting things, though, that kind of I'm just going to draw this away from all of the kind of more personal stuff here, but it's interesting because if we pay the same kind of attention to politicians' personal lives, when what we need to be really concerned with is, are they doing their job? Are they being a good politician?
Yes.
I honestly, and you know what, it used to be in this country, and I've been struggling with this because I'm old, and I remember when it used to be that we would have great politicians, but then you would find out that they, like John F. Kennedy, great politician, great leadership, but he fucked everything with a skirt. Do I think less of Kennedy because of that? No. I actually don't. I honestly don't care. He was a good politician.
Well,
he was banging Marilyn Monroe.
We're the same generation. We're close in age. I'm 48. You're a little bit older. We both remember the Monica Lewinsky incident. Yeah. I did not give 2 squirts of piss when that came out, and I was actually a Bill Clinton supporter as a teenager. He was the cool president with the saxophone on the late night TV, things like that. Arsenio Hall.
He was the first black president. Remember?
Yeah. But and look, I was liberal at that time. I'll admit that my conservatism is not a lifelong thing,
right?
That comes with age, wisdom, and everything, and experience. But when it came out that he had an affair, to this day, I do not care, because I still think, for the most part,
Kennedy was worse than JFK.
Yeah.
I mean, not Kennedy. Clinton was worse than JFK.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing with Clinton. That's fucking nuts. Nobody else cared either. I can guarantee you, if he could have run a third term, he would have won. If he could run now, he would win.
Yeah,
hands down. I believe that.
Possible.
I look at it. I look at politicians like this, okay, they are not moral leaders. They're puppets. They're supposed to be our puppet, but ultimately they're rhetorical puppets. If I want to look for morality, I'm going to go to my synagogue.
I appreciate morality, though, but
I do.
It's not. But here's, I mean, and I'm just gonna, I don't want to go too far afield here, but so when we look at someone like JFK, right, and my man here, God's favorite aunt, says JFK nearly started World War III. No, I mean, I understand the argument for it. I don't think he nearly did. The Cubans and the Russians were never really they were sword rattling. They weren't serious.
Well, that was so that is
and
literally
Kennedy understood that, by the way.
That was limit testing. Okay. And
the Bay of Pigs was literally shit testing to see what everyone could get away with.
And I'll tell you, JFK did that right.
I think he could have done a better job.
I didn't say
I have the advantage of hindsight.
I said he did it right.
The advantage of political hindsight.
Yeah.
I think he could have handled it better, but that's okay. As far as getting us entangled in Vietnam, he wanted us out of Vietnam. It was Johnson that was pushing the whole Vietnam thing.
Well, Johnson was a huge investor in Brown and Root. In fact, he was part of the board before becoming VP. And Brown and Root was making a fucking killing in Vietnam.
Johnson, and this is, I mean, it's tough speaking bad on a fellow Texan, but Johnson was horrible, dude. He was just a horrible individual.
Yeah. And there's more evidence Johnson was VP. It wasn't his call. Until Kennedy got shot.
Right.
And then look at what happened. It was almost 10 days later after Kennedy got shot. I'm being hyperbolic here. I don't know the timeline. But it was almost instantly after Kennedy took one to the brain that Johnson had troops on their way to Vietnam as advisors. Almost instantly. And Johnson did that. Like Kennedy, I don't believe there were any orders from Kennedy ordering advisors to Cambodia.
Look, Johnson.
I could be wrong.
Johnson was literally Bush's VP.
And Bandit's correct. I'm sorry. The Bay of Pigs was an Eisenhower plan. It was actually a CIA plan that Eisenhower had slight knowledge of. The CIA fucked it up, cocked it up, whatever you want to say, and Eisenhower did something exceedingly presidential and said, "I authorized it."
Yeah, he took responsibility for it. I look at it like this. Who was Bush's VP? Bush Jr.
I don't know.
Cheney.
Cheney. Dick Cheney.
Darth Vader, baby.
Dick Cheney, literally the president of the United States in the VP office, but he was Johnson. He was Kennedy's Johnson. Okay, Johnson was part of the board of Brown and Root. Talk to any Vietnam vet. Talk about Brown and Root. Most people will spit on the ground when they hear about it.
This is also true. Mullet Baby makes a great point here. Johnson used to wave his dick around like he had the power of the White House, and I think there was friction between him and Kennedy over it.
Well,
I should say it has been noted that there was friction between Kennedy and Johnson over it. It's not a guess on my part.
When he while he was taking a dump through an open door while talking to people, he is quoted to saying, "I will have those N-words voting Democrat for the next 200 years by pushing forward this legislation." So Johnson was not a moral arbiter. He was a crude man.
He was a war hawk. He wanted to go to war.
Very well connected too. And that's reminiscent or that kind of aligns with Cheney as well.
Yeah. I'm gonna God's favorite aunt. You're not wrong here, but here's the thing: we were sending advisors over there, but so were the French, so were the English, especially the French. The French had more people in country than we did prior to the launch of Vietnam War, and and they were truly advisors in Vietnam up until Johnson got in. And then we started sending advisors into Cambodia to do what? Oh, yes, to train guerrillas, the Montagnards, to fight the Viet Cong, the what would become Viet Cong.
Yeah, I look at all that and look, I will still say I am a war on terror vet. I have deployed multiple times in the name of George Bush, Dick Cheney, 9/11, and all that other stuff. I still believe that our initial invasion of Afghanistan was just, but I will tell you, it is people like Dick Cheney that kept it going on for decades, and those became unjust. Well, Afghanistan quickly became an unjust war. Iraq, I don't think, was ever justified. I have no love lost for Cheney, but I will say he's kind of gangster because he shot his buddy in the face while quail hunting, and the buddy who got shot apologized for getting in the way of the shot. So that is true power projection right there.
Right. Yeah, you know what, Cam, I agree. If only JFK was able to dismantle the intelligence agencies, we wouldn't have any of the issues we have today. That's true. And it wasn't that he wanted to dismantle the intelligence agencies. What he wanted to do is he wanted to put the CIA specifically back under the Department of the Army. So they would no longer be an autonomous agency, and they would have far more oversight like they did in World War II. And that's what he wanted to do. And it would have been, I personally think that's what ought to have happened. And I still think it ought to happen.
To this day, I still think the fact that they are headquartered in Langley is basically illegal. They're not allowed to operate within the borders of the United States, and that should be to include their headquarters. The CIA is the deep state, and it should be dismantled.
Yeah, it's a beast for sure. It should be a break glass in case of war.
Yeah. But no, we did dismantle part of them by destroying USAID, which was basically an arm of the Central Intelligence.
Their slush fund, yeah.
That
now was black money. That was their black bank account.
Now, if we could just shut down their drug traffic,
the rest of them,
honestly, like the invasion that we did in Venezuela, I don't fully agree with. But hey, whatever. I think the pretense that we used to do the invasion when we were saying it was all about fentanyl.
Student of history right here. Bandit is correct. Saigon and Hanoi were capitals of what was French Indochina. Nobody calls it that anymore.
Yeah.
Prior to the war, the Vietnam War started with communist Vietnamese trying to throw out the French.
Yes.
And we were not even in there fighting. The French started the war. People don't realize this, but the French the Vietnamese started a war against the French. The French were losing their asses, and they were, and as a result of that, the South Vietnamese, which included tribals like the Montagnards, who the fuck are those? Hmong, and like two other tribal ethnicities were getting slaughtered and helped because they were helping the French, or they were seen as helping the French. And we were training the Montagnards in
Cambodia.
In Cambodia, and they would go across the border into Vietnam and fight and then come back. And we got drawn into it because Johnson wanted to swing his big dick. Otherwise, what would have happened is the North Vietnamese, which was mostly where the communist Vietnamese were, would have taken, they already had Hanoi and Saigon. They would have routed the French. The Montagnards would have eventually have either been eliminated or sued for peace, or just stayed in Cambodia across the border. And then the South Vietnamese would have eventually, more than likely, once the Chinese were gone out of the area, I think the South Vietnamese probably could have taken the North Vietnamese, but no, we had to get involved.
And that was,
and once we got involved, the Chinese were involved even heavier. And then, that's the rest is fucking history.
And this is why
messy war.
Having mostly an anti-interventionist foreign policy is actually more within America's interest.
If I disappear, we know what happened. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
But Grid, thanks for having me on, man. I need
man.
to go. Great discussion. Hey, good to meet you, Clover.
Yeah, we're gonna do some more gun prattle for like the next 45 minutes, and then
heck yeah, that's awesome. But thanks everyone for hearing an old fat guy out. But y'all take care, and God bless.
Be good.
That's true. OG, if you want to jump up, man, just let me know. I won't disappear though. So
you say that. You say that.
A
lot of talking smack about the CIA, bro.
I know. The CIA. I talk smack about the CIA all the time.
Yeah.
I'm one of the disband the CIA people. I just
right.
Although I would be just as happy if they just went back under the control of the Department of the Army.
Yeah, it needs to be a actual military thing.
Well, it needs far more oversight. They have nothing.
Yeah.
So.
But I'm okay with all bureaucracy needs to go bye-bye.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. And Kennedy was convinced that because of his time in World War II, that the CIA, and the time after World War II, he was convinced that it was a bad idea for the CIA to be basically its own entity with and answering to no one.
Right.
Yep.
So, yeah.
And that's so.
Yeah.
And I think it was kind of the same way with the FBI. The FBI, there's a lot of truth to the FBI doesn't get challenged a whole lot because they have dirt on everybody.
Right.
I think there's a lot of truth to that.
Yeah.
So, but I talked to my buddy tonight about getting him onto the Daria shooting team with the TAC 12, and he's up for it, man. He's like,
yeah, that thing's a beast, man. I was editing a little video earlier, and that's one of the things I was editing, and it's like, man, that thing's so cool.
I think that I mean it looks cool. I would like to get one to play with it, but I'm trying to get this kid to get one. He actually just lost one of his main backers because he's not a junior anymore. He's not a junior shooter. They only back junior shooters. So they because he's now he's 18 and he has to shoot as a standard shooter. He can't. They won't sponsor him anymore.
Wow.
If Kennedy wasn't killed, would NAM have happened?
Yep.
I think it would have, but I think it would have been a much smaller scale.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be like Afghanistan. What was said earlier with Afghanistan and Cheney. Had Cheney not been around, would Afghanistan have happened? Yeah, after 9/11, sure. But it wouldn't have been drawn out because of all the different ties and the money and everything else going on.
Well, I think that there's a couple of different things that tie into Afghanistan. So basically, it would have been more like Grenada, I think. Yeah, I think so. God's favorite aunt says NAM was happening when Kennedy took office. Kinda, but it hadn't really kicked off. Again, we weren't really we were not involved until Johnson pushed us. Look, the fact remains, Kennedy was trying to keep us out of Vietnam. Johnson 100% wanted to go swing his big dick and just, go into Vietnam like we own the place.
Well,
so let's let's not try and say that Kennedy was any part of keeping us or starting Vietnam. That's just absolutely a bad narrative. It's because it doesn't fit. Howard Hughes had a role in keeping the war going, the millions he was making. No, I don't think so. I think Howard Hughes would have much rather have been making like spaceships and cool shit rather than war stuff. But he's a capitalist. Whatever makes him fucking money, that's what he's going to make.
Right.
I mean, you look at Raytheon now. They a very small part of Raytheon is actually military stuff.
Yeah.
So. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Grid is talking about us again. Run option 3 on the channel and wrap up the lobster. That's funny.
Huh.
Yeah, that's it. All about the damn CIA. Call it off.
So when's your next match?
Well, I was supposed to shoot one last week, but unfortunately, the weather interfered. Let me take a look. That's a great question. A lot of them are being canceled because of bad weather. So let us see. The next match that I'm registered for is February the 7th. So next week at the Glock store. It's a PCSL match. And then in theory, I'm going to shoot the Own the Night match at Dead Zero, February the 14th. That, however, is Valentine's Day, and my wife might have something to say about that. So I might shoot the Glock store USPSA match on the 14th instead, because that's, that I'll be done by like 1 o'clock and be home in time to, take my wife to a nice dinner and
right. Yeah.
And then the first true multi-gun match is in March at Dead Zero, and that'll be March 15th. And in theory, I'm signed up for it, but I'm not in it yet. The Superstition Mountain Mystery Gun 3-gun in Arizona, presented by Luth AR. By the way, if you could tell Luth I need a sponsor slot, that would help me out. That's on March 18th through probably the 21st or so. That'll be a 3-day match.
Yeah.
And then then after that will be just the normal monthly matches, and then the Texas 3-gun championship is April the 10th. And that is it's in Texas, obviously. Hold on, it's in Central Texas. It is in Burnett, Texas. I think we talked about it before.
Yeah, burn it. Yeah.
Burn it. Yep. Burn it to the ground. I'm not in that match yet. I want to be, but unfortunately, I'm waitlisted. Now, I should be able to get in because even though I'm waitlisted, I will, I think I can get in, but we'll see. And so I mean that's what's up, man. I'm trying to get in where I can.
Right.
So, but it's tough right now. It's tough.
Seeing as how you made shot, just so you know, NRA show is April 17, 18, 19 in Houston. So
okay.
So
that would be sweet because the match in Burnett is like the 10th through the 14th.
Oh shit!
And then my birthday's the 16th, and then I could just roll right into the deal.
Wow!
So
make a week of it.
Yeah, make a week of it, or go do the match and then fly back and then fly back out. I mean,
wait, I thought you said Burnett was in March.
No, it's April.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Burnett is in March. Superstition in Arizona
Oh, okay.
is in
Gotcha.
is Superstition in Arizona is in March, which I am on the wait list for. But I really, really, really need somebody to get me in. So if you can talk to Luth or talk to Randy and tell him to see if he can find me a sponsor slot or something. So NRA is getting better. Fuck it, button. I talked to some people from the NRA while I was out at SHOT Show. They certainly understand everyone's frustration with the NRA and continued frustration with the NRA, and they seem like they're working to fix it. So,
yep. If you watch,
it gets really a lot better.
Yeah, if you watched, I don't remember what day it was. My podcast at SHOT, we had Amanda Suppicool, which is one of the reformer board members, on, and she kind of talked about the steps, how things have progressed since 19? It was 19 that things started to really unravel for the corrupt NRA. So we've come a long way in 7 years. Long way in 7 years, and most people just aren't paying attention enough to know that. You've got two, for those that are maybe members, voting members able to vote. If you've got your ballots, you've got Charlie Brown from High Point, who is running for a board spot this go around, and you've got, and Amanda Suppicool is up for re-election, but you've got also Randy Luth, who we just talked about.
I like Randy Luth
who is running as well. So most of the old guard, most of the cronies, most of the troublemakers are gone. There have been not all of them. We still got a ways to go. Yeah, and then, but there's also been some resolutions and some different things that the board has voted and set. That's kind of hogtied, so to speak, things from becoming as bad as they got. So it's getting there. It's getting there. It wasn't anything that happened overnight. You got to realize that everything had went downhill since the 77, the revolt in 77. I think it was. Everything had been pretty much going downhill ever since then. So it's decades in the making what we had to deal with the fucking NRA. And it's not going to get fixed overnight, mainly because there's 84,000 fucking board members. And that's one of the things, that they can never get enough control with reformers, then the plan is to whittle that down and have a much smaller board, like less than 20 board members, which right now it's like 70 or 80 or some shit. But whittle it down to like maybe 20. And then have committees, you know what I mean? And so a lot of the folks that are board members could be part of committees. And I mean, they have no power. They can donate their time. They can head up projects and things like that, but they don't really have any power. It's only going to be a select few. So, but that's a double-edged sword too, because if it ever falls back in the hands of cronies, you know what I mean? And there's only a few. That's sort of the saving grace we have now, is there's so many that the vast majority of them don't do anything, right? They're just an empty seat. They're just a warm body. And so if you've got a lot of opportunity there because of that to get reformers in, which then can oust and has ousted the cronies, LaPierre's cronies. So I know that was a lot of rambling on the fucking NRA, but yes, it is getting better. And yes, we need them for multiple reasons. We need them because they're a very, very huge bullseye. Like it's easily recognizable, and anti-gunners will attack them first, and that gives some cover fire for organizations like Foreign Policy Coalition, like GOA, like SAF, and the likes. And then also the infrastructure that they have with competition, with range, with a lot of other things, is still in play. Even though the vast majority of what's fucked up with them has been the ILA, the Institute for Legislative Action, the NRA ILA, which is part of what broke off in '77 with the revolution. So, we've got that. We certainly don't want to lose that. There's no 2A organization that's even close to being able to handle the type of infrastructure, training, and other things that the NRA has. And then we've just got the history of the NRA, man, going back, 100 fucking years at this point. Longer than that, but yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, the only problem, I mean, again, I'm one of those that has a serious problem with the NRA because they've literally sold gun owners or gun enthusiasts down the river multiple times for whatever gain that they got out of it. So I'm willing to, I would, if we can get good people in there that are actually going to be on, on the side.
I'm okay. I'm going to be controversial here, right?
Yeah.
Because a lot of the chat, and that's where a lot of where you're going to, is this whole idea of the NRA fights for our rights, and the NRA fights the government, and the NRA the this, and the NRA that. I say fuck that. The NRA needs to go back to pre-revolt of '77. The NRA needs to be about range, competition, education. The NRA needs to be about the cultural and societal change that it was up until that point. And they need to leave the political fights, the legislative fights, and the court battles up to these other organizations, which have really done a great job. And they've come into their own in the last, good Lord, 10 or 15 years with it. They're fully capable to handle that.
I don't disagree with you. However, unfortunately, they're too wrapped up in it now, I think, to extract themselves. I do believe that having the NRA, is it ILA? What's the legal?
Yeah, the NRA ILA is the legislative part of NRA.
I think
it's two different. It's two different.
Between the two.
It's two different wings, right?
I understand, but it's the same organization, and I think an even bigger separation would be helpful. And I do agree that the NRA needs to get back to teaching people how to shoot, promoting shooting events.
What they're good at. Right? And what they've been successful at. Yeah.
We absolutely need Eddie the Eagle back in schools. We need to fire all the fire all the lobbyists and let the ILA do it. And that's that's my and they need to quit advising politicians because they don't actually represent all gun owners. And they do a horrible job when they start advising politicians. Their track record's abysmal. Mainly because a lot of the leadership, at least up until now, were,
there's not
and sporting clay shooters, and people who hunted deer, on Sundays, and were not. They were not the.
That was the whole idea.
They weren't Bill Wilsons of the world. They were,
So the whole idea of the revolt, and I keep saying 77. Hopefully I'm right. Somebody can fact check that. I keep saying I may not be accurate on it. It was maybe in 79 or something, but I think it was 77. But the whole idea of that revolt is what they call the FUD arm, basically, right, of the NRA.
Yeah.
That's kind of where that whole phraseology and everything came from. But they had that revolt because they wanted to create the ILA. They wanted to get involved into the politics of things, right? And the members that had been members for decades and the board members that were there for decades, they were about the societal impact, the training, the safety, the all of that stuff, right? They didn't want to get involved in that. They didn't see that as a win, and they also seen that as the potential for corruption. Well, go figure. That's what we fucking seen when it happened, right? So the FUDs were right. The FUDs of the 77 revolt were absolutely right, because that's exactly the direction the fucking NRA went in when that revolt happened. You got people in positions of power in the NRA that then rubbed elbows with the people in position of power in the fucking government. And to your point, and the reason that they've never been done really anything as far as gun rights is they were always on the lookout for the politicians. You know what I mean?
Sure.
They wanted to advise they were more concerned with keeping their buddy elbow rubbing relationships than they fucking were actually fighting for the 2A. And a great example of that was the Hughes Amendment. They went to Reagan with FOPA, with Firearm Owners Protection Act, and they went to Reagan and they said, hey, go ahead and sign this. Yeah, the Hughes Amendment's in here. Yeah, but here's the thing. The Hughes Amendment completely does away with an entire industry and an entire sector, which would be machine guns, right?
Yes.
And they're like, this will not fucking stand up in court. So go ahead and sign this, Ronald Reagan. We got your back, and then we'll go fight it in the court, right? You'll be able to be re-fucking elected.
Yep, that's exactly what happened. Yep.
Blah, 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 blah. Well, then what happened? Well, what happened was Reagan signed it, and the NRA decided they started hearing from some of their members, because now that they had killed an entire sector, machine guns, guess what went up in value overnight? 10x, 20 fucking X. Yep. Machine guns. Guess who had all the machine guns? The rich motherfuckers and the oil barons and the whatever the fuck that were lifetime NRA members. So guess what? Guess what NRA never did? They never filed a fucking suit against the legislation. Right. So again, it's been all about since that happened, because the FUDs get a bad rap, but the FUDs had it right in 77. And since then it's been, the NRA was all about, it got corrupt, and it was all about the power and the influence. That's all it was about. And money is included with that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you're right. That's how it went down. Yeah, for sure.
And I got a good guess for you. As a matter of fact, for Gun Prattle, is Jeff Knox. You know Neil Knox, if you know any history of the NRA. You know Neil Knox. Jeff Knox is Neil's son. Jeff is actually a board member. Jeff's a good friend of mine. I talk to Jeff regularly. So the history of the NRA, I know, and I know well. Because Jeff and Neil and even Chris, which is Jeff's brother, they wrote multiple books on it. But he's a great, especially if you want to get into history of the NRA and all the bullshit, especially since the revolt that's went on, you'll get it's an eye opening. And for anybody out there that might be listening, I've had him on my podcast multiple times talking about that. So just go. You'll have to pull those up probably on a audio podcast platform somewhere. But highly recommend it if you want a fire hose learning session for the NRA. Man, listening to him go is one of them. And all that because I said you needed to go to the fucking NRA show. But here's the thing with the NRA show, and this is also something that for the haters that I have to try to stress. I don't go to the NRA show for the fucking NRA. I go to the NRA show to support the fucking industry that's there. Because without that industry, we don't have the fucking toys to enjoy our Second Amendment rights. So that's what it's about for me. It's not about, when I go, I do the shit in the booth. I never once say we're at the NRA. I never once show a fucking NRA sign. I don't really do any of that. I did early on, but I don't anymore.
Yeah. Cam, you know, the thing is that you really can't do a Form 4 for a machine gun. You can't create a machine gun.
Nope.
Out of a semi-auto.
Thanks to the Hughes Amendment.
Right.
So the only way to do that, the Hughes Amendment said any machine guns, you can't have any new machine guns after 1986. Anything built after 1986 cannot be transferable. It cannot be registered, right?
Yeah.
Under the NFA.
Unless it's on an SOT.
Unless, yeah, you can do dealer samples, but so you could go get an FFL and you could go get your SOT for that FFL, and then you could build a machine gun as what they call a post sample, right? And that's for companies that build machine guns for military and law enforcement purposes and whatever, right? But here's the thing: there are people who are sitting in jail right now, as a matter of fact, because they have done that to personally build and play with machine guns. So unless you're legitimately going to be in the business of building machine guns for military and law enforcement, I would highly advise you not to do that.
Yep. Yeah, you really can't do it. There's no real way to do it. Although, I mean, saying that, you know, I have a talking about being an FFL, not taking a semi-auto. Yeah, you can if you become an SOT, you can get there sort of. But even then, you can never sell it. You can never do anything with it. It's just so I actually have a. And
if you never conduct any business and you keep building them and you don't ever get a contract with anybody, then it's not going to be good.
Yeah.
Because the ATF's going to come down and go, well, you're just doing this to play around and have machine guns for your own personal use. And that's not, this is all for doing business, you know? So I got 2 words, honestly, and Grid probably knows what I'm fixing to say. If you want something like that, I'll just put it that way. I got 2 words for you. Super safety. Yeah, 100%. Super safety, brother.
So years ago, I was probably 21. So probably like 92, maybe 93, somewhere along in there. I bought an HK-53, which is a machine gun that, you know, they came in various barrel length. The one I bought was like a 14.5 with a pin flash hider and a collapsible stock. So it's really compact little thing, but it was a machine gun. Bought it through a dealer. Everything goes smooth. But back then we didn't have computers doing all of the paperwork. And so, you know, the transfer goes through, and about maybe 2 or 3 months later, I get a call from the ATF, and the agent's like, "Hey, do you have an HK-53 serial number? Blah blah blah." And I'm like, "Yeah, I got it right here. Yeah, got it. No problem." He's like, "Okay, I'd like to come look at it." And that's occasionally happens. So
this is after you had done got the stamp.
After I got stamped.
Okay.
And he's like, "I'd like to come look at it." I'm like, "Okay." And I, you know, of course, I was like, this is back in snail mail. It wasn't unusual to get a visit from a ATF guy wanting to.
Wow, I never have.
I know,
but I hear you.
So he comes over, and he looks at all my paperwork, and he looks at the paperwork from the dealer where we had bought it out of Florida.
Mm-hmm.
And he looks at all of it, and he's like, "Well, we got a problem." And I said, "What is that?" And he's like, "So this serial number, there's a problem with the serial number because that serial number is on another gun that we know about, and we have a really clear line we have a really clear record of this." And Now, you know, the other thing, guys. So the serial number he's talking about is that the trigger pack on the 53 is considered the full auto.
Right.
It's considered the machine gun.
Right.
So it has a stamped serial number on it, which is not factory. Okay.
Right.
When they back in the day to make it a legal transferable machine gun, they had to engrave the serial number on it.
Correct.
So he had me pull out the trigger pack, and sure enough, it had a serial number on it. You know, everything was great. But he says, yeah, this is fake. He's like, you know, where'd you get it? And he said, where did you get it really? And I said, well, we bought it from this place in Florida. And apparently what this company had done was, prior to going out of business, they had counterfeited a bunch of machine guns and sold them all within a very short window.
Oh, that sucks.
And so they had sold them within a very short window, counting on the processing time, because this is all via mail, right? Like at 93, there's, email existed, but it wasn't like it is today, right? Not everybody had it.
Yep.
And so,
well, the government didn't have the process, or the ATF didn't have the process to file paperwork through it anyway.
Yeah. So, and so apparently, I don't know how many that they had duplicated, but mine was one of the ones that was duplicated. Well, it could have been the original, but we don't know. And that was a $30,000 gun.
Yep.
I mean, back then, I think I paid 18 when I bought it. And when, by the time I actually got it and got the paperwork through, which took 8 months or so, it had increased almost $30,000.
Yeah. Did they seize it?
Yeah. Well, they kept the trigger pack. They didn't care anything about the gun. They kept the trigger pack.
Well, the trigger pack's what's worth $30,000.
Right. Yeah. But the trigger pack was the important part.
Yeah.
And
the gun's worth like $5 or something.
Yeah.
You know?
Right. And so, and I ended up, there were some lawsuits involved, which I was part of, because this had happened. Well, all right, so I went back to my dealer and said, hey, what the fuck?
Right.
And he said, yeah, I got it. The ATF's already been here. And so
that's how they got to you.
Right. And they were like, hey, so basically the 4 or 5 or however many dealers that this guy had ripped off all got together and sued him. And I have no idea how it worked out for them, but they had, I guess they have to have insurance on these things. And I got like half of my money back or something like that. I wasn't made whole in terms of what the gun was worth the day they seized it, but in terms of what I paid for it, I got pretty close.
Yeah. We, I guess that's Cam out there or something, but I don't know. Yeah. I can't tell with the fucking symbols, but he was saying unless you get an Uzi, it's an normal price or something with a fun switch.
I've seen some rewelds down around 18,000.
We were looking one night just playing around, and I forgot what. There's a forum somewhere where it's a full auto forum, and it may have been Foul Files. I can't remember. But we were looking at some of the transferable stuff, and we couldn't find a single thing under $10,000. And that hasn't been that long ago. It's been a few months ago. And I'm talking about nothing. I'm talking about like Mac 9, Mac 10, Mac 11s, shit like that. Nothing under $10,000. Most are 12, 15 grand and up. Yeah, pretty nuts. But that's what happens when you ban shit and they don't make it anymore, or you can't make it anymore, and there's a finite number of them that exist, unfortunately.
I've got a registered drop-in auto sear that was originally sold through the mail for $25.
Right.
Then it was registered during the amnesty. I think that was 88. And so it was registered, which cost, I don't know, a couple $100. I paid in 2002 or 3, I paid $5,000 for it, and I've turned down offers of 18.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
And I honestly think that if I put it up for sale on Gunbroker or something, I could get like 30 grand for it.
That's why no matter how much and no matter who fights and no matter what the makeup of our government becomes and um how friendly we may think it might be, and no matter which organization gets 100% behind it, and or the people, I don't see full autos ever coming off the NFA. And the reason I don't see them is just because of the money tied up in that. I don't know what it is, but it's a very big, ungodly amount that would completely fucking tank if they come off the NFA. Now, short barrel rifles, short barrel shotguns, suppressors, totally different story. And I think we're gonna, I think it's before it's all said and done, I think we're gonna see those come off. Machine guns, I don't ever see it. Unfortunately, I don't ever see it happening, just because of the economics of the situation. And because of that, we don't have common use. That's the other thing. Because it's such an expensive game, unlike SBRs, SBS, and suppressors, it's such an expensive game. There's no way. There's a finite number. So how can they be common use?
Right. And that's actually the best argument for legalizing it, but they're not going to do it.
Yeah.
So,
yep. I don't see it.
Yeah.
Even though it fucking should be, there should be no, the NFA is so antiquated. It all should go bye-bye. We talked about that. We talked about it on mine the other night or something about the 4473s and how originally that was just to determine if somebody was a felon. Like that was the entire point of that. And now it's like,
and look at what
well, are you crazy? Do you do some kind of drugs? Do you not pay your child support? There's all of these catch-22s tied up in that shit now that it never was intended to be that. So the NFA has gotten the same way. Without the NFA, you don't get the Gun Control Act of '69. Of course, that was I say that you do get the Gun Control Act of '69, I think, because of both Kennedy's and MLK. That was essentially what set off Gun Control Act of '69, which expanded the NFA, and then added some other stuff with importation and a few different other things. I think we would probably still get the importation things without the NFA happening. Should those assassinations had still take place, it wouldn't be as bad, but I think we would still get something. And then we obviously, without the NFA, pretty obvious we don't get the Hughes Amendment in '86.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
and very likely don't get the AWB in '94. That's sunset. We don't got to worry about that now, but got to realize that we had a national AWB for 10 years.
I think I really do, and I got a good point about that in a minute, but I really do think that we could make the argument for common use, because there are people like me that made money buying and selling full auto guns because I could, I buy an, because I knew that they were going to go up, right? So I'd buy an MP5 or buy an HK53 or I'd buy a 51 or 91 or whatever. And, and I keep it, I keep it for a little while and enjoy it. And then, in a year, if I bought it, I remember I bought an MP5 D, MP5D, the non-suppressed short.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that would be. Yeah.
So it was a stubby one, but it wasn't suppressed.
Yeah, that's a D.
Not factory suppressed. And so I bought one. I paid like 9 or 10 grand for it, which was absolutely an absurd price for something the police departments were buying for like $1,000. And but it was transferable. It was an early one. It was like, I want to say it was like an 85 or maybe even earlier, maybe 83 model. It doesn't matter. It was an early one, and it took, I kept it for like 2 years, and it went up 10 grand. And I sold it, and then I went and bought another one. So I think an argument could be made for common use, because there are a lot of people who actually have them, and they're machine gun shoots every year.
There's not enough. Here's the thing: common use. I'd have to look at the numbers, because there are numbers on that.
Is there numbers?
And yeah. There is criteria for common use that's been set, and I don't remember the numbers, but with the amount of them in the amount of transferables in circulation, there's no way you get to currently. There's no way you get to common use numbers. There's no way.
Yeah, and the real problem with that is that when unregistered guns come up, like war trophies, guns that weren't amnestied but did exist prior to 88, it doesn't, those guns, if they're not on the registry, they can't. It's very, very difficult to get them registered. Very difficult. It's not impossible. I used to think it was impossible, but
it's not. You can get exemptions. There are exemptions.
Yeah, there. And actually, I had my local gun shop. It's under a new owner now, but when it was under the original owner, they had a Thompson, 1920s or 1930s Thompson that had never been registered ever.
Yep. I had a customer one time that they had a Sten, maybe,
a Sten.
Something.
Yeah.
Maybe it was a Sten, I want to say.
Or out the side.
Yeah, I'm thinking maybe it was a Sten. It's been a long time ago now. That they found in their great grandfather's house when they cleaned it out, and it was full auto. And they called up the local office. An agent came out. Now, granted, this is Texas, and the field office or field agents here are pretty awesome for the most part. They're not jackbooted or anything, but never have been in any of the D1s I've had. But the field agent came out, looked at it, took possession of it, and then took it to and told him, he's like, okay, here's who you need to contact about this moving forward. And it was some higher up in fucking Virginia or whatever. But then he took it. He's like, do you have a dealer that, is SOT? He's like, yeah, this shop here. He's like, okay. So he took it, the agent took it to that shop, and they logged it in, put it in the safe. And it took about 2 years or so, but he finally was able to get it on the registry. And take possession of it. But, it had to be examined. It had to go through provenance or whatever to verify that it was not some type of post sample or,
right.
It was actually original, old school pre-86,
Yeah.
But I mean, it was a pain in the ass.
Sure.
But yeah, there are, I have seen a couple of, not very many, but I've seen a couple of exceptions to that over the years. Now it was said out there in the chat, which is true, that I'm talking about full auto and the price, $30K, you can build a collection of a lifetime. Yeah. That's the thing. You're going to drop $30K on one, or you're going to drop $30K on 10 or 20 or 25, really nice firearms that,
that you actually shoot.
You can actually shoot. You can have, enjoy it for a lifetime. Cover the gamut or cover, all the bases on anything you would want to go do with a gun in the future,
Yeah. I mean, it's an
for that kind of
interesting
money.
thing because you have there are guns out there that people don't even know exist, right? Like, but there are only a few of them, like the Beretta 93R, right? Which is kind of a 92,
Yeah.
but it's it's 3-round burst
Uh-huh.
pistol.
Yeah.
They're not particularly useful for anything, but they're cool.
Oh yeah.
And there's maybe 10 of them in the US that are actual
Yeah, there's not many of
transferable.
them. There's not many of them, period. But yeah, there's definitely less than 20 transferable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because at the time they were only being sold to the military,
Uh-huh.
and all of the ones that came over here were some
Most
kind of
are
dealer sample or
most are post samples. Yeah, most are post samples. True. Yeah.
and they're
Yeah.
so any of them that are transferable
And
are
the Glock
really early ones.
18s, Glock 18s are
Yeah.
that way.
I heard that and I don't know that this is true, but I heard there was only one true transferable
Uh-huh.
Glock 18 in the country.
Uh-huh.
I heard that's what I heard.
I've heard that too. I've never vetted it to know, but I mean, I wouldn't doubt it.
Well, the
I mean,
date
I
the
would,
date makes sense, right? Because
there can't be there's either none, right? Or there is very, 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 very few. And by very few, I mean maybe 2 or 3 at the very most.
Right, because
It's either one of those two things.
the thing is that I can't understand. So the dates are the problem with me on the Glock 18 because, to my recollection, the Glock 18 wasn't even produced until like 1990.
Yeah, well, production, you got to realize production and prototypes and samples are two different things.
Right. And that's what
So
that's the only
I've
way
got
it can
guns
exist.
here. We had that talk at SHOT Show about SHOT Show, right? There are guns that are made that never see production ever.
Yeah.
Right. And then there's guns that are made that don't see production for years. I've got stuff here that is like 2 years. I had it for 2 years before distributors got any, before anybody got, you know what I'm saying? Got any. So once you understand that, then that's what I said. It is possible.
Yeah.
Or is possible or plausible. I guess both. I guess it is plausible that there may be up to say 3 or so. But that's the thing. When you're talking about prototypes and early ones, there's typically not that many made.
Yeah, I mean, there's got to be so few made because I mean, it would have to be like literally like a 1986 smooth grip Gen 1.
It would be a Gen 1 for sure. Yeah.
And then the Glock, the one with all the ceramic parts in it that was like legendary for a while.
Oh God, yeah. The die hard gun, yeah.
Right, yeah, the one that supposedly could go through airport metal detectors, but I don't believe it. I don't think it could because it actually had springs in it.
Yeah,
maybe at the time.
And here's the thing, Grid. Even if it could, if it was loaded, it couldn't.
Right.
So,
yeah, that's the.
Yeah.
But I mean, when you think about it, I mean, the Glock was doing a lot of weird shit back then.
Oh yeah.
I mean, everybody was. So.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And so, I mean, it on the one hand, I'm like, maybe it's real.
Yeah, there could be. That's what I said. It is plausible that there could be, maybe 3, up to 3 or so. I mean, maybe. It's plausible. But there ain't many if there is, and if there's only one, I would not be surprised.
Yeah. I'm just really interested to see, how all of this goes forward. I don't know. I wish I had kind of stayed in that world of playing with machine guns and buying and selling them, because the only way that I could afford them was to buy them,
to play in that world. Yep.
And then, just keep buying forward.
Right.
And once I quit, they're so expensive now.
Like anything else, it's like I know a guy that is into Humvees, right? Like military Humvees, right?
Yeah.
And he saved and saved and saved to buy his first one, and the only reason that he's able to keep playing with Humvees is he fixes them up, flips them. He fixes it up, flips it. He flips it, gets another one, fixes it up, flips it. That's the only way he cannot. He has to perpetually do that, right? That's the thing. He can't fix it up and keep it. He has to fix it up, flip it, buy another one. But he enjoys doing that too. So, I guess that's a plus. But it's kind of that same thing. You have to.
Sure. Yeah, I think there's a lot of
flip them to keep going.
There's a lot of things like that. With the
people do that with regular guns, though. I know people that'll buy one, and they'll shoot it, and it's usually not like their carry gun or nothing. You know what I mean? But like their fun gun, let's say, or range toy, and they'll buy one and they'll keep it a year or maybe two. They'll sell it and buy something else.
For sure.
And they'll keep it.
I know a lot of guys that do
they'll
that.
keep it a few months, a year or two. They'll sell it. Yeah. Sell it, buy something else. They never have more than like 5 or 6 guns.
Yeah.
But they're always rotating and have a different 5 or 6 every time you see them.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true. I think the interesting thing, to me is how, I guess the interesting thing to me is how far we've come with the not full auto guns. FRT.
Yeah.
And how many of them are out there now. So,
yeah.
And
the FRT stuff, for anybody out there, you wanna play, the FRT stuff's legit, man.
Yeah, I can't wait for mine to come in. I need to check my tracking number and see if they've shipped yet. But I don't really care that much about full auto. The interesting thing is that the coolest full auto I ever had was a HKG3.
Yeah.
Which is a full auto 308.
I want, and I don't, in full, whether it's full auto or not, or FRT, I want controllable burst is kind of my thing.
3-round burst.
No, it doesn't have to be 3, but I want it can be full auto, right? Or it could be even FRT. But like I said, I want to be able to control. So, 3-round, 5-round burst, 2-round, whatever. Like I want something that's controllable. And there's a lot of machine guns that just aren't.
Yeah, that's actually why I really like
a Vector. Holy fucking shit! A full auto Vector. Have you shot a full auto Vector?
No. I've watched
that bitch will go beep, and you dump 33 fucking rounds or whatever the hell it is, a 9mm in like 3 seconds. Maybe not even that long. Like it doesn't even have time to muzzle rise before it fucking dumps them. Like it's thick.
Yeah,
and it's like I don't.
I mean, they look cool.
Oh, it's fun as hell. But I don't. As long as I'm, on a range somewhere and somebody else is buying ammo, I always will shoot the full auto Vectors for sure because they're fun as shit. But I would never have one because, with my FRTs, I can control. I can, 5 rounds on this target, switch 3 over here, 2 here, 3 here, and then if I want a mag dump, I can, but I don't have to, they're not running so fast that. Now, granted, I have an SBR with an FRT. It's pretty fucking fast. It's a lot faster than I want, and I cannot. I've done everything. I cannot. I can't slow it down anymore.
I mean, that's why I like the. I got to be honest with you. My favorite full auto gun that I've ever shot is the 93R Beretta. Because it's a 3-round burst.
Yeah,
it's a heavy as shit gun. For what it is, I mean, for its size, it's a block, and it just doesn't move a lot. It's got that little kind of cuts compensator on it, like a Thompson.
Yep.
And it's just a really pleasant. It's a pleasant to shoot full auto, or 3-round burst, right? Select fire, and and I've shot Thompsons. I had a Sten for a while. I like the Sten a lot. The Sten, because you're holding on to that mag, you have a lot of control over where that goes, but it fires from an open bolt. So just getting like 3 rounds off or 5 rounds off, you're not doing that. Like you think you can, but can't. I like the Sten. I like the Sten a lot. I would have another Sten if I could find one that wasn't like $80,000.
Right.
For a piece of pipe. It's because that's all it is. A piece of pipe.
Yeah.
I like the
Thompson.
G3.
I like the cadence of a Thompson. The Thompson just has a good it's not fast, but it's like
it's fast enough.
It's fast enough. It's just got a really cool feel to it. The Thompson does.
Without a cuts on it, though, they're uncontrollable.
Yeah,
they're just uncontrollable without a cuts. Without that compensator, you would think it would be different because it's just a 45, and it's just and it's it's not that long. I mean, actually, I guess it is a long barrel, but it's not. It's not light. It's heavy.
Oh, it's heavy.
You would think it would be really controllable, but I've shot one that was original without the cuts compensator on it, and it is the worst thing ever. Like it's like trying to shoot a Mac 10.
Right.
The HKG3 in 308 would take down small trees, and it was pretty damn controllable. That's like one of my favorite full autos as well. That it's not super fast, mainly because it's 308 and it just takes time to get that big ass case out of there. But and it's a heavy gun. They're full size. They're they make the G3 into a sniper rifle.
The FAL, which is 308, is about workless in full auto.
I've never fired one full auto.
Yeah, it's about the 4th round. It's fucking vertical, no matter what you try to do. No matter what you try to do.
I believe that.
Like, you could hip fire it or something and keep it from going vertical, but if you try to shoulder it at all, and run, flip the fun switch and run it, 4th round or so, like it's like you better let off the trigger because you're shooting straight up in the air.
I've shot FALs and I don't like them. I think they have too much recoil. I think they're sorry.
I love mine. Mine is the reason I don't have AR-10s because I don't see any.
Really?
Yeah, fuck it. I've got an FAL.
I love my AR-10, man. I got my AR-10 like it's sweet, but my FAL. Well, maybe I just had a shitty FAL.
That is very possible because there are some out there. The inch pattern stuff depends on if yours is an inch or metric. Metric is definitely the way to go. And there are, depending on what receivers they're built off of, mine's built on a DSA, which is probably the way you want to go. But there are the
inch. DSA one? Because mine was DSA.
Was it?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's
I didn't like the recoil of it. I just didn't.
It depends though too on who built it and a lot of other things. I originally
overgassed. Like,
yeah, I would be willing to bet so you had this. Whoever built it don't know what they're fucking doing.
I didn't build that one.
So mine was built by. If anybody gets on FAL files, they will perpetually hear the name Sledgehammer Arms. Because they are I think he's retired now. But this guy, people sent him shit from all over the country. They sent him not just FALs, but AKs, and he built trench guns. He built a lot of shit. And like he knew his shit, especially with FALs. And so that's who built mine.
Because I didn't have them at the same time and my memory's fuzzy. I no longer have it. I could get it back. But I had a set me.
Yeah.
And it was, I just thought of it as a, Israeli FAL.
Yeah. Basically. Yeah.
Have you shot both? How would you compare them?
I prefer the FAL, hands down. Yeah, the set me to me the set me is a less refined, maybe is the word.
Fuck it button. We said DSA, not PSA. PSA is Palmetto State Armory. We're talking about DSA, which is a California company that does AR and FAL parts.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you've got DSA as far as FAL receivers. You had DSA, Enterprise, and Imble. And
Imble.
Enterprise was the absolute worst, absolute fucking worst. So, word of or nugget of advice: if anybody's out there and they see an FAL sitting on a rack somewhere and you're considering buying it, if it is an Enterprise, stay away from that motherfucker.
Really?
I don't care how cheap it is, unless you know a gunsmith that works on FALs and you want to buy a DSA receiver or something and swap it all out. Do not buy an FAL on an Enterprise receiver. Do not. And you got to be really careful with the Imbles. Like I said, DSA is definitely the way to go.
Were good, but maybe it's
Imbles are they're middle of the road, right? Okay. Like my opinion. I mean, they're hit or miss. So you've got and it goes Enterprise, Imble, and then DSA. But again, it depends. With the Imble, it's going to depend too. Like the DSA, it's going to depend on who builds it.
Yeah, I've been looking for a Set Me 223 parts kit.
Oh, okay.
And they were available for a while. My friends in Colorado at Apex had them, and then they just kind of dropped off the face of the planet. Like I don't know that I want a parts kit, and just try and build one up from. But then the receivers are kind of hard to find for the 223.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Unless you know somebody with a 5-axis CNC and they can catch them.
Right, and just burn one out. That's actually one of the reasons why I did a bunch of HK stuff early on, was because I could buy the HK receiver. They weren't flat. They called them flats. They weren't flats.
Right.
And I had the jig to well, all right. So it's always an interesting thing when you start working on your own guns, right? And so I bought an HKG3, or pardon me, one, the semi-auto gas gun, which was, technically kind of like a marksman's rifle. And the rifle that they still sell today to civilians. So I bought that. It was a heavy bitch, and it never worked right. And so I took it to a gunsmith, and I was in college at the time, so I had no money. I couldn't pay this guy to do the work, and I just had him look at it, and he's like, "Well, the problem is that the receiver needs to be trued for it to, I mean, eventually it'll start working, just because it'll kind of like self-clearance." But he's like, if you want it to work and work right, you need to get you need to buy or not buy, but in his case, he told me that I needed to have him use his tool to true the stamped sheet metal receiver.
Right.
And being me, and I was building guns at the time, I just found the jig to true the receiver. And once I had that, I found out that I could buy receiver flats and buy parts kits and build semi-auto MP5s, 53s, 93s, 91s. And it was just, you just needed patience, some lube, and a really good press. And I had all those things.
Yeah, that's what she said.
Right. That's right. That's exactly what she said. And I had all those things. So I made there for a little while. I could obviously, we couldn't use any of the full auto stuff, and so that was all. I just made semi-auto, mostly 53s. I really like the 223 53. And, then you end up with a bunch of shit because it's a roller delayed mechanism. And you have to time the rollers and size the rollers. And you end up becoming, whether you want to or not, if you're working on those, you become a little bit of an artisan. And, so.
Right. Yeah.
Whether I wanted to or not.
Yeah.
But my G3 worked great.
Yeah. Talking about the IWI stuff out there. I
saw that. Yeah.
Everything IWI's got some good stuff. I mean, some of the Tabors have had some problems and some other things, but
I hate
for the most part, all of my stuff is IMI. Everything I've got is pre-IWI, right? So when did they swap over? 2000, early 2000s, right? 2005.
I thought it was later than that. I thought IWI came out in 2007, 15 or 17.
Oh, really? That late? I don't think so. I don't think it was
when they
that
released the Masada. I know that for a fact. And I know that's when they released the Galil.
No, they had the Galil long before that. Before that. They did. Yeah, they did. They had the Galil back in the 60s. What are you talking about?
No, I'm talking about the IWI Galil.
Oh, the IWI. Yeah, they re-released it. Yeah.
I didn't know. So I was looking for a Galil Ace in 5.56.
I think the Switch was earlier than that, though. It had to be a single digit 2000s. Had to be.
I don't think so.
Yeah,
I remember when they came back to market, it had to have been 2010 at the earliest.
It was there was no way because it was
still IMI. They were still making the Jericho and the Desert Eagle in 2005.
Yeah, well, they still make all that now.
They don't. No, they make it's a new Jericho, and they don't call it a Jericho anymore, and it's IWI.
They still make the Jericho 941. They still make that.
I didn't see one I shot.
They still make it. I'm almost
they call it a Jericho too.
Well, and the Deagle is under a different name now.
Yeah, I thought the Deagle were licensed to another company. It's called.
Yeah, the Deagle is under. Oh, shit, who is it? Fuck me, I can't remember. Magnum Research.
Yeah, Magnum. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
and they bought Magnum Research, which was a company in Utah or somewhere.
They've got the Matei shotgun, the Zion, the Galil, the Carmel, the Masada.
The Zion was released in 2017.
The Jericho Enhanced and the Jericho 941 or ORP and the Legacy on the website. I'm looking now.
I had a Jericho. I got rid of it.
Yeah, they've got the 941 still. Now it is not, in my opinion, the IWI Jericho is not nearly as good as the IMI, but I don't think any of the stuff is as good as the IMI. That was like the IMI was the good old days of literal Israeli military, whereas IWI was it became privatized, and so that's for profit and blah blah blah, and we all know what corners can get cut when you start doing that shit.
Well, I think that they made
not that it's bad stuff. I'm not knocking.
Yeah, well, I think
the Galil Aces are sweet, and the Jericho Enhanced is definitely sweet. The Masada is a nice fucking handgun. Yeah,
the Galil Ace in 5.56 is pretty accurate, and they work, which is for that's actually become a cheat code for the people that run the AK matches. Is they actually run a Galil, not an AK.
Yeah, my Galil is 7.6239.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I like. I have the Masada, the duty pistol they released, which is I think also called a Masada, but it's something. It's something else. It's the it's one with a safety on it, even though it's a plastic pistol.
Yeah.
And I have I may pick up a Masada Slim in the next few weeks. I don't know. I like
So
but I don't shoot any of them. I've only shot. I think I may not have even. I know I haven't shot the Masada duty pistol, and I don't know that I've shot the Masada carry pistol with the red dot.
So I don't know if you'll know this, but I'm going to throw the question out there because we got some IWI lovers. They may know some IMI. They may know some Jericho history. So the Jericho, what cartoon did the Jericho appear in? Ooh. Clover breaking out the cartoon gun trivia. What the fuck?
I don't watch.
What the fuck? Yeah. Is it cartoon or anime? That may be an extra hint. Because it could be anime. I don't honestly know what the fucking difference is. But to me, it's all cartoons. We'll see. We'll see if he may know. That may or may not be why I bought mine. Actually, it's not why I bought mine. Mine, fucking button said Popeye. Actually, I bought mine because mine was a smoking deal. Like most of the things I buy, it's because they're a smoking deal.
You know the good thing about all of the excitement over the new HK 7, the PDW, is that finally the MP5 receiver flats stay in stock.
Right.
I know. It takes so little to keep me entertained.
I need to break out my Mac 5. Speaking of that, I may do that tomorrow. Slap her around a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't have an HK. I'm not bougie like that. I got to go with the poor man's version. Yeah, I'd like to see shit. Tyler was talking about shooting some stuff, and then he said in the chat that his wife wanted to shoot some rifles or something.
Yeah.
Like, oh man, if I could get them down
That's
here,
like
put her on that Mac 5 or something. Holy shit, dude. They'll go back home and spend their fucking life savings on guns.
That's not hard to do.
No, it's really it.
Gateway drugs. That's what we're all about over here.
Yep. Yeah, you can't have just one. Most people. Most people, the only reason they don't have a billion guns is they can't afford them. Like most people, I think. It's their economic situation and their means dictates how many guns they can have.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I want them all, dude. Go to like SHOT and all this stuff, man. It is tough walking through some of them booths. Like, fuck, I want that one, and that one, and that one, and that one. And I don't know what I'll do with this one, but I want it anyway.
I have good control, and when I'm in like gun shops and gun shows.
I won't buy it unless it's a deal. You know what I mean? I've got great control. I'm not saying I don't, but that doesn't mean I don't want them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I have really good control when I'm at a shop or a show, but I'll be surfing arms list and I'll just be like, oh, dude, look at that. I got to have that.
Yeah.
And, but in it,
no, I don't buy unless it's
I'm meeting a guy at Home Depot.
But here's the thing. If I found, I don't buy them unless it's a deal.
Yeah.
But the problem is I want everything. So if an hour after we get off here, somebody calls and they have 10 guns and every fucking one of them's a deal, but it's $10,000 worth of fucking guns, I'd probably buy them. That's the bad thing.
Yeah, that is the bad thing. But then you would sell 5 of them for your.
No, I wouldn't. No, I fucking wouldn't. No.
That's what I tell my wife. I tell my wife, I'm going to sell this one at some point.
Well, you don't have to do that. Don't lie on your wife like that.
I don't usually. I don't have to do it. I do it.
My wife
I'm lying to myself is what I'm doing.
My wife will point blank tell you she does not get involved in my gun buying. Because the more guns I have in there, when I die, the more money she fucking gets when she sells them. So
there you go.
she does not fucking care, not one bit. Plus, I don't spend money I don't have. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And I
That's a good habit.
never have. So even though I may come home, because I think I told you this before. I've bought like 12 guns in a 24-hour period before.
Yeah.
I think 12. I think 12 is nice. It wasn't 16. I don't remember. It was in the teen. It was in the teens. It was a one in front of it. In a 24-hour period before. She didn't say a fucking thing, bro. Nothing. I bought 6, I think, at one time.
Wow.
And I've probably done that multiple times, like in one transaction. You know what I mean? The 12 or whatever was 3 different, I think, transactions. It was 12 or whatever it was. The number was 3 different transactions, and that's the most in a 24-hour period. But I bought multiples pretty regular. I bought multiples because you get a good deal a lot of times that way. That's the thing, right?
Yeah.
So when I bought
my 4 or 5 guns,
when I bought my Smith & Wesson 41, I basically bought a brand new Smith & Wesson 41. Like I paid fair retail, let's say, for a Smith & Wesson 41, but which was $1,200. But I got like 4 other guns with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I got you. I'm in that. I follow. I got it.
Yeah. So
I'm kind of in that same. I
bought my 41, but it was like buying a 41 and getting 5 free or whatever the fuck, or 4 free.
Yeah, I like to do deals.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Where and a lot of times it'll be like, one of my buddies will post up that they're selling this and this and this and this to to afford to buy something, and I'm like,
right,
I'll buy them all. Just give me that group discount.
Yep. Yeah. I can't believe they took my offer on that, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah.
And the beauty on that deal is every one of those guns was something I wanted.
Mm-hmm.
It was something that fit into a collection somewhere, or just something that I wanted for a long time, just had to run across a deal along or something.
Mm-hmm.
Every single one of them. So that was nice. The hell, one of the transactions, when I bought the 24-hour period, when I bought so many, I had to have bought 6 or 8 of those at Academy of all places.
Oh wow!
Yeah, they had a sale. I don't remember if it was Black Friday or 4th of July, or it was surely it was some holiday thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they had such a fucking good sale, dude. And then I go in there like buy 2 because of the sale. And then they've always got like their demos or their clearance or their, you know what I mean? Like, this is the display model, or this is, this one's on clearance. I'm like, motherfucker, there's like 6 or 8 I want. What the hell?
Yeah. Yeah. I get lucky occasionally, I get lucky occasionally.
I don't go out hard. I don't really go out looking for guns anymore. I'm not one of those really that looks for something to buy.
I have people calling me at this point. They'll be like, "Hey, what do you interested in this?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm pretty interested."
Yeah, I'll see something. And of course, I've got to go to the gun shop tomorrow. I don't got to work, thankfully, but I've got to go up there. I at least have 1 rifle up there that I know of that a company sent. And I may have more, but it's going to be interesting because that's my thing is he gets so much used stuff in on like estate liquidations and stuff he does that you never know what's going to come through the doors,
Sure.
And that's where the vast majority of my stuff over the last probably 10 years, close to it, comes from, is just walking into there fucking randomly, holy shit, where'd this come from? Like, a woman come in, it was her husband, she had like 10 or 12 guns or whatever, that, wanted to sell, and so you never know. But that's part of the beauty or the fun in it too. Is I really never know what my next gun is going to be.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, it's kind of fun.
Yeah. I'm going to go to bed.
I don't blame you. I'm not until I down some NyQuil, but once I down the NyQuil, my ass will be going to bed. I can assure you.
Yeah.
So I got to go to the gun shop tomorrow and pick up guns. So I got to get some sleep.
Yeah, I am not going to the gun store tomorrow to pick up guns, but I might.
You should. I recommend that for everybody.
I might actually go by and to the gun store and partake of their range if it's not absolutely freezing ass cold in there, which it has been.
That's what you said. The ventilation system is all fucked up.
Fucking cold as shit, man. Like it was
you need some glove station gloves, man.
Yeah. Them
fuckers gave me. Did you see the pile of shit they gave me at SHOT Show?
No.
That man, when they come in and did the podcast, that fucker gave me a pile of fucking gloves.
Oh man.
And I should have had you go through them and see if any of them fit or if you wanted any.
I have a really nice pair of Black Hawk leather shooting gloves that are unlined, but it probably would be fine. I might do that, and to be honest, I generally don't go to the indoor range on the weekends. That's when all the idiots go, and I can only take so much.
Yeah,
can only take so much. So
yeah, guns off the printer. I like that.
Yeah, gun parts off your printer, absolutely. But hey, so did were you there when we were talking about the guy who registered did a form 1 on a potato?
Uh-huh. Yep,
that's awesome. It's free. free suppressor. Yep. Potato Mark 1.
Yep.
Mark 1 Mod 1 potato.
Uh-huh.
So yeah. Yep. That's hilarious. All right, I'm going to get out of here. Everybody, it's been great for those of you who hung out tonight. Tomorrow night, we will be doing I don't know, we might do a chill stream, might do a debate show. I don't really know. I might not even stream tomorrow night if I'm tired or if I go to the range all day tomorrow. I've got a lot of editing and shit to do to get the gun prattle stuff going. So we'll see. We'll see what tomorrow brings, but look for the announcement. It actually would be cool to have a debate. I've had debates, but it'd be interesting to debate something other than Preddy getting his stamp done or something cool. But at any rate, I'll catch you guys later. And Clover, always a pleasure.
Yeah.
To everyone else, go away. It's time to go home. Good night. See you later. Bye-bye.